that they have literally conditioned us to be normalized with it. We've been in it so long, we don't even we don't have a reference point that we shouldn't be in there. And the reference point is, if our species was out of this fight or flight, we would be more connected to that quantum reality. So again, petition the Lord with prayer is a solution for me. For people who are atheists, just try to clear your mind, get present, and listen to that internal dialogue. Our unconscious is sending 50,000 thoughts and feelings a day. How do I quantify that? At least something once per second. So, yeah, that's how I see it. I mean, what's happening now is just, to me, it's just been a slow progression since when I can remember the LA riots. It's the same dynamic, and they have been creating this whole control grid continuously. It's the craziest thing in the world. It's like an addict who continues to do negative behaviors but is in denial, cannot see the negative behavior, gets the consequences of it, but since it doesn't know it's actually the causal, it creates a blame system. It blames, it deflects it into people, places, and things, and dynamics, and they create drama, and they project it, and the evil rulers know how to cultivate our societal projection. I hope that made sense.
I think they've been doing that, manipulating. The evil rulers are definitely manipulating the consciousness of the planet, and they're doing it, for very evil purposes. So
yeah, the thing I think is we are volunteering. Our part due to the sleep or the unconscious or whatever you want to call it, you're literally volunteering for it. That's the crazy thing. Calculated move. And how do I know this? Because to the people who are completely programmed, right? And they're agreeing with this stuff. So they have already itemized a certain strata, certain culture, subculture of the controlling population, right? The rich, the upper class. They believe they have enough people bought into the fake system, the scam, that they can make this move. And it's just going to get worse. If you look at like the riots, we get one every 10, 20, or there's a pattern where there's actually some years in the distance. That's good news. That's good news. Could it escalate into full-scale martial law? Absolutely. I think right now, to understand a little more in our terms, I think we're at absolute political war right now. China and that democratic media, entertainment, the databases and Google, they have Congress, so they're making their move, and this election is going to be huge. I mean, at the end of the day, Republican, Democrat probably gets the same place in 100 years, but what I know, for myself, going through hard times, I always had to triage. I had to do what was in front of me. So, for good news, maybe we'll get another year separation. Entertainment will start, and people, and they'll stimulate the economy somehow, some way. I mean, even though the economy is totally going into 4 or 5 corporations, you'll absolutely be born into a corporation. Logan's Runs is a fantastic analogy. Rollerball, the old one, another fantastic analogy. Absolutely be born into a system and just a new evolution of monarchy. It's just absolutely incredible. It's what the these Masons have been talking about for thousands of years, the great work, and it's back to that one saying: tell a lie so big that no one will be able to believe it, and that's actually the move to do.
Hey, Craig, if you put that one video on top in the corner of it, you know what I'm saying? It can cover up that logo that you're trying to cover up. You know what I'm saying? You you move it down and move that like over that, and it'll cover up that logo. That way you can make that bigger, because that needs to be a little bit bigger. There's stuff going on there, man.
Yeah, and I want to donate, to your stream. We need, to me, this is like a free speech platform, and how few there are, even the ones saying they're free speech. We need, it's just, the privatization of data.
Yeah.
Is just,
I appreciate that. We don't do any commercials, and we've tried really hard we're just trying to fucking do the right thing, man, and be consistent. We're out here every Monday through Friday. Have you been watching for a while?
I remember, I used to watch you when you used to do the C-SPAN.
Right? Oh, that's been a while.
That was, was that, when was that? Was that in the 90s or the 80s?
You mean C-SPAN Junkie?
Yeah.
C-SPAN Junkie was like 2003, 2004.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
It basically covered the 2004 election, and then Barack Obama came into office.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
And then right after Barack Obama came into office, YouTube deleted my channel of years and years of George Bush's war crimes.
It's just insanity. It's been going on. That's why I never wanted to do anything, because I'm like, I'm going to do all this work, and they're just out of the blue, they're just going to delete it, which it's been happening for so long. 2003. So I was trying to understand the political system. I actually thought, hey, if I got into the political system, I can make some change. I actually went and did an experiment. Is power really come from the bottom to the top, which it's supposed to be, we the people, bottom to the top? And it is actually the fucking opposite. It's pathetic. You would have, it's like that's the cover up, is just since the lie is so big, the actual cover up is, again, just fighting for basic rights. Like, I don't want fluoride in my water. This is the most ludicrous. At the end of the day, they're fucking with the actual quantum, atomic, molecular, biological field. What are you guys doing? Nature is technology, the most advanced technology in the world, and you guys are just jumping in there without a fucking care in the world, and you're being snake salesmen and getting everyone to buy these chemical products, and now the whole chemical industry is taken over because they can't stop. They can't admit they're wrong and they killed billions of people. That would be the revolution, I guess. Some Dow Chemical, or maybe the Rockefeller comes out. Go look at Watchmen. On that level, that scale, we've been manipulating the planet like this, and we apologize, and we want to start over again. Everyone, 40 acres and a mule kind of thing. I don't know, it would. That's a miracle.
It's what we really need is sit down and just stop everything and say, okay, these are what our priorities are moving forward.
Yeah, you absolutely said, and that's actually, and if you look at how you treat addiction, is that you have to have a psychic change. You literally have to, because the disease is interwoven with the ego that's been working on that ego for years and years. So you would literally have to say, I completely let go, and let's try to start again. And try to start again one day at a time, because the programming and the wiring continues to push its own drive. That's another part of the trickery, is the program literally in our unconscious. And since the unconscious drives the conscious mind, but they've got us to think the conscious mind is in control when it's actually our programming, it's our wiring. You do a certain behavior day after day, eventually it gets wired in you. That's why you don't think about it. So what's happening is this program controlling the conscious ego, the social ego, for so long, it knows nothing else. But the only way for it to stop is that it has to see that there is a problem. Like they say, addicts hit bottom.
Yeah.
They hit when the mind and body come close to death, then the system will reboot. There's actually a moment of reflection, right?
Mm-hmm.
See some type of a window. I've got to make a change, and it was. I mean, UFOs. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't have a problem with UFOs. I welcome our new alien overlords.
I would, I mean, of course, the alien thing can be totally polarized either way. Total evil, total good, could be either way. I would just appreciate us being able to think in another
you know
dimension.
what? Anything's better than what we got now.
I would like fourth dimensional thinking. I would love that.
I would like a 21st century infrastructure, please. That would be really fucking nice.
Bro, it is so crazy. I remember I visited India. I mean, this is like a couple of years ago, and I've been through, of course, the United States, and I've seen the poverty in the inner city. It is insane what's happening in India. No, they don't even have electrical. They have no infrastructure, no running fresh water, no sewer. They're literally living in mud huts, like miles and miles, hundreds of miles driving. No change. This is more in South India. It's the most schizophrenic country I've ever known. The one half is completely rich, and then the other half live in total destitute poverty. And I'm not saying all of them, of course, but the programming is to accept their poverty because of karma and the caste system. It's totally incredible, and just an example of the power of this lie that is being thrown to our species. And I mean, they're squeezing us to a point where, again, when you get attacked, you go into fight or flight. It's really, MMA people train to find that balance between analytical minds, but they're been slowly squeezing the poor and creating mental illness and drug addiction. These are all weapons in part of their attack.
Sure.
And I mean, it's just our species is like getting squeezed to the point where their only reaction is an explosion, right? They explode. They literally self-destruct.
Blowback is a real thing, man.
Oh my Lord, bro! And here's I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, it's crazy stuff, brother. I mean, crazy stuff. These next 3 months, it's gonna be nuts. This election is gonna be nuts. I have no idea. I mean, China's gonna take Hong Kong and Taiwan. We're probably gonna take Venezuela. Russia's gonna make some moves in the Ukraine. It's gonna shift like World War II. We're repeating
China. I don't think China is gonna take Taiwan, dude.
I hope, brother. I hope you're right. I don't want them to take Taiwan,
so.
But they're moving toward it. So what I'm seeing is just a repeat of the cycle of World War.
Right, but you know what the thing is that China doesn't want war. You know what China wants? China wants to fucking make business and economic fucking boom everywhere it goes. That's why it wants to do this Belt and Road thing.
I agree with you.
It's fucking America who's got to stick their fucking shitty nose in everybody's business and act like they gotta be there, like it's life or death for whoever. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, what you're exhibiting is the inner conflict in every democratic, any type of political base. There's got to be a portion of the population seeing where this is going. We got to get back to, we got to get back to freedom. We get back to autonomy. We got to get back to like we the people. It's
we the people.
I know that conflict is going on, but these scientists that believe you just got to work 40 hours a day and you'll come up. I mean, they really, the American dream, they totally believe it. And it's scientific, and they have incredible amount of talking points to reinforce it. And it's incredible stuff to try to crack. You know, I mean, you just basically need to be like prompting and redirecting all the time. But yeah, I hope they don't do it, man. I hope Taiwan and people, you know, but I mean,
too loud.
Here's the problem, brother. I think they're this is going to get, because do they have enough prison camps? I don't think so. So
look, there are people who have been training for martial law for a long, long time. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, they know things. They know things, man. They're not, and they're not messing around, and it's not a game. Yeah. And if you fucking bring the war on the people, again, the people are ready. I mean, they're not necessarily ready for war, but you're gonna get war because they're tired of you.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, man, it's nutty stuff. You know, it's like, you know, you better have storable food. You better be able to protect your family. You know, you gotta have running water.
You gotta recognize the real enemy. Okay, we'll get through this, and it's good to have water. It's good to have all the things that you said. But what we gotta have is unity amongst the people, and the best way to do that is to recognize the real enemy and the only true threat to our personal freedom.
Amen, brother. Your lips to God's ears.
So your name's Eric, is that right?
Yeah.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Palm Springs, California.
Palm Springs, but is there a protest going on there?
No, nothing I'm aware of. You know, nothing they put on the news. You know, maybe if I drove around, maybe I'd probably see maybe a pocket of 5-10 people.
How is tell me, how is the COVID-19 affecting the community?
I mean, you know, it's completely polarized, brothers. On one side, total Nazi germaphobes that are calling their contact tracer 100 times a day.
Huh. That sounds like what's going to happen. I can easily imagine that happening.
Right. And then on the other side of the spectrum is the 14-year-old pubescent whose family's totally been destroyed by drugs and poverty, just wants to fuck shit up. Right? You have this.
I don't know. I mean, look, the people who want to fuck shit up, I don't know who they are. But it seems like a very, I
mean, you can know who they are. Just look at what the TV programs. What is the TV program? Programs thuggery, persecution, victimization. And then it gives you all these heroes that are blowing shit up and get the girl at the end and the money and the
well, there's definitely the programming that the guys with the guns are the guys that
I mean
they're the heroes and they are they get all the hot chicks. You're right about that.
Look at all the TV shows. You think the TV shows are? I mean, all those shows, 90% of them is agenda driven.
I agree.
Well, that costs too much. That doesn't cost too much. They print the money.
They just ask the Pentagon for help, and the Pentagon goes, sure, but will you add this and this and this to your show? And they go, no problem, sir.
Oh, I mean, so they've been projecting these identities through media. The children are falling into it because at home it's so miserable because you're dealing with, again, the drug abuse, the poverty, the stress in life.
It's hard. It's just hard being a kid in general, but
it's terrible.
And it's just hard. I mean, it's the times we live in are very
very dark.
Well,
what do they have to look forward to? They look forward to virtual reality.
that's one of the things that bothers me the most is that, like, I see kids out in the park, right, on a beautiful day, and they won't start looking at their fucking phones, man. And I can't stand that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that bothers me so much. Well,
it bothers you so much is because they should be tuning their senses into nature, which is peaceful.
You know what it is I want them to look other places than like right directly in front of them. I want them to look over there. I want them to look over there. I want them to look up there. I want them to look everywhere. And they're not ever going to do that if they're tuned into their phone.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, brother. I mean, that's the part of the thing. If you look at the crossroad is virtual reality or nature. And there's no coincidence that we have been drawn to virtual reality versus nature, because if you get into nature, you get into that frequency, which will help you see what's really going on. I mean, that's it. I mean, like you said, everyone's just got to stop and everyone can feel it. It's in there. It's in your supercomputer.
And not just that, not to what's going on, but you also begin to like have empathy for everything. And
Absolutely.
empathy is something that they don't want you to have. They don't want you to have empathy. They don't want you to care about your neighbors. They don't want you to, they want you to be afraid of everything. Somebody who's full of empathy pretty much has no fear, actually.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah. I mean, empathy is a huge key. Empathy is a huge key. And they know this. So, they cultivate our empathy, like entertainment. That's why, you get attracted to the drama that's on the entertainment, because it's helping you process your empathy. So, yeah, and in a way, they totally dehumanized us, where you're paranoid of your brother. And, your first reaction isn't to help them. Your first reaction is, can be defensive to attacking to, it's,
to turn away.
Yeah,
to turn away.
Turn away. And now they've eroded our ability to tap in so much, because they've been killing all our prophets. They've been killing them all. I mean, they've been assassinating people. Music. The assassination program is off the chain. You wouldn't even think of it. We wouldn't even know.
I hear you. I agree. I mean, we all saw him assassinate the Iranian general, who I can't recall his name right at the moment, Hassani or something.
Yeah, assassinating Bob Marley, like that kind of stuff. Jimi Hendrix. What was
that journalist? What was the Rolling Stone journalist name? Michael Hastings.
Yeah.
Michael Hastings, they assassinated him in Los Angeles, California, or Southern California, anyways. I think it's Pasadena or something.
It's crazy stuff, but that's why it's so elusive, because it's the bigger the lie you tell, the harder it is for people to understand. They would never believe it. So it accelerates their demonic tendency, their demonic muscle, because they need to be actually more aggressive and be more ruthless. That's how they actually hide, is by their ruthlessness. So, yeah, man. Honestly, I petition the Lord prayer. I really do believe Messiah's coming back, and He's going to cleanse it all, man. He's coming.
I don't.
I get it.
This is the way that I see God. I've given you every fucking thing you need. Okay?
Yeah,
all you need to do is stand up and be the free human being. These rights to be inalienable. God gave you those rights, not the founding fathers, not the Constitution, because you are the big-brained, upright walking, tippy top of the food chain on this planet. You have the freedom to do anything you're right. Anything you want, brother. To say anything you want.
It's
and
incredible.
Anybody who tries to silence your voice is actually a threat to all of us.
we're totally in the Garden of Eden. Quantumly, we are absolutely in the Garden of Eden. So all I would say is, don't you want a little? Wouldn't it be nice to have a little, some help?
Again, like I was saying, we just need to like reprioritize. We need to stop everything for 1 minute and like reprioritize everything, and
yeah, bro.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The screen.
No, but I believe me, I do that on a daily basis. I mean, I try to quantumly project into my environment, the truth. But it's just such an incredibly slow process, brother. And they're killing more and more of us all the time.
Well,
it's not like the numbers are getting any bigger.
Yeah, well, I think they see that as a big part of their job, is trying to.
Yeah, I mean that's where the vaccines come. I mean, you're hearing about the vaccines are going to start controlling our neurotransmitters and our endorphins, and I mean, not that I don't think they've been doing that already with the fluoride and the different chemicals in the food.
And the fucking cell phones.
I really do believe, bro, that this our bodies are supposed to last 1,000 years. I really do believe that in that Garden of Eden, that pristine sense.
And that's where I was going with the reprioritize everything, is that if we just stop and reprioritize everything and say, okay, number one, we want this planet to be the amazing paradise that it can be, then like overnight we could probably begin to make everything fucking green on this planet. I mean, we have that technology. That's the most basic technology we have. We could do it almost overnight, and there's just like not even on anybody's radar anywhere.
It's incredible what we've done to it's so incredible to me that the nature's technology, human technology, is literally light years away from what system we're in right now. Total fucking slavery. Total slavery. So, I mean, it's just incredible. It's just incredible, the poverty. The poverty of consciousness. It's sad stuff, bro. Sorry about it, man.
Well, everybody's caught up in, they're programmed and they're caught up to be, this way. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Fear. Well, it's very difficult not to be necessarily part of the herd, so to say. I mean,
I think a huge part of it is they get you to invest your life into the system. A house, a job, children.
Of course.
Obligations, and
I've
that shackle that they put on you, it distracts you from getting to the source big time.
I've said again and again, that's the only reason that I've been able to do what it is that I've done, is because I don't have those things. If I had a house payment, if I had a phone payment, if I had a woman I needed to take care of, or God forbid, children, there's just no way I would have been able to do any of this, because those things would have to be the priority, and there'd just be nothing left over for this,
I totally agree. I concur with you 100% that my way to free myself from all that, which you just described, allows me to think like I do.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to step outside the box and go, well, this might fucking destroy my life or end me in some way, but at least it's just me,
Right. It's totally counterintuitive. You wouldn't instinctively follow it, but the key is the truth. You've got to follow the truth. Just keep searching the truth. Just keep digging. Keep dig, and you'll break through. You will break through. It's law of statistics.
they say it's numbers, whatever in life it is that you want to do. And I believe that if you just work really hard and never let anybody say you can't do that, if what you want to do is what you're working on is something that you really want to make happen, that eventually you will.
Yeah. And if your path is noble, you will bust through. You will break through. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Crazy stuff, bro. Good stuff, Moxie. I appreciate all the time you gave me.
Yeah, no problem. Craig said we got another caller. Did you say something about a donation?
Yeah, I want to donate. How do I donate?
Can you see the chat?
No, I'm on the phone, so.
Oh, well, you can go to moxnews.com and you can donate there.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Keep up the great work. Awesome shit.
Right on. Thank you. Well, I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, man.
Okay, see ya. All right. We have another caller. Craig says we have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, this is Jay from Texas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, did you say Jay?
Yes, Jay from Texas.
How are you tonight, Jay?
I'm doing okay. It's I just had this urge to speak on this. I don't know why. Again, all this stuff that's been happening. All this. Like, what do you think about all the I guess you would call them psyops? I don't know how you would say it. Like all the psyop on top of the psyop.
I think I think the main thing is just like I keep telling people, is just don't buy into the fear. Understand that the media has lied to us about everything since 9/11. Iraq. Everyone knows Iraq war is based on a lie. And just everything else. And how long is
Do you know what lie that Iraq war was based off of? Do you know why we had to go in there? Do you know who told us why we had to go in there? Because that's what the thing is. Like, they're trying to make the U.S. look bad, but who's really killing us? You know what I mean? Who's doing this to us?
Look, the U.S. government is bad. Okay.
Yeah, but who told the U.S. government Iraq had weapons of mass destruction? Israel,
the
right?
CIA and
well, no, but they got it from Israel.
Well, yeah. Look, they can get their own goddamn info. They don't need to get shit from Israel. Okay, they choose to do that. Okay, so and they choose to do it. Why? Because it fits their narrative, and nobody can fucking question Israel. Okay, so
it's just like why this is happening in Minneapolis. The cops are treating us the way the Israelis treat the Palestinians.
Well, that's because the cops are sent. The trainer cops are sent to Israel to be taught how to train cops.
It's really crazy, don't you think?
And most of them are veterans.
Yeah, and that's really the crazy thing about it, is that a lot of them, the plan is to make America look so bad that people who, I guess the religion would be Jews, will go over and immigrate over there.
The plan is to make America look so fucking bad to the entire motherfucking world that when they fucking lock down, when the FEMA camps open up and they start sending people, the happy re-education camps open up and they start sending people to them, the whole fucking world will go, those people get what they deserve, instead of rushing to our aid. Because
it's just going to be like Germany. Because remember, before Germany was ever fascist, they were the most liberal country in Europe. They had the first same-sex plays and everything. Right. They had all that.
Yeah. And all right. Look, man, did you want to say something? Hey, do you want to say something about the protest?
yeah, I want to say that you think most of it is going to be just intact, like all these burning of buildings, you know, all this weird stuff, you know, this weird, like, it doesn't seem like people would do that to their own city, you know what I mean? And did you see that weird video of the guy with the hammer?
Yeah, we have that video queued up. I can play that after we get off the phone here.
You know, it's just crazy though. You really gotta look at stuff like that. You really gotta look at where really people shoot themselves in the foot. And is this for a bigger? Because remember before the Minneapolis thing happened, remember all the people went to the
I remember
to the Capitol building with guns, and they tried to label those people as literal terrorists.
That's what they do, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is like a thread situation, man. This is like Iraq before it went all bad.
Yeah.
Because I was in Iraq in 2008, and when they took out Saddam, I heard the Iraqis loved us, and then something happened to where
nobody loves someone that invades their country and starts kicking in their front doors and shit.
But remember when the looting started, and then that guy, the ambassador to Iraq, just said, just shoot the looters. And then the American troops started shooting the looters, and that's what I'm saying. Something, remember, they said if anybody starts with, I don't know, it's a thin thread, man. It's a thin
I mean,
thread.
they fucking bomb the shit out of apartment buildings and stuff. You're not loved by those people.
No, that is true, but at the same time, you know, like, there was peace after it was all done, and then somebody went in there. And I have a guess, you know, because you know, somebody went in there and flamed up some situations, you know, because that's why that video of that guy being killed, it just feels strange, you know. It's like the officer, it's like I don't know, dude. It seems too coincidental.
There's it does seem like there's some strange things going on. I agree. I don't know exactly what.
It's scary
but
though.
I agree, man. It's, you know, I mean, if there's some kind of fucking plan to start a fucking, you know, martial law lockdown so they can make sure we all get our fucking COVID-19 injections. Yeah, it's scary as fuck, dude.
Or are they gonna start?
They assassinate people every day, dude. They do that every day.
But you think they're going to start, like, literally just, like, you know, going to your house, you know, the way, like,
yeah, they're going to start going to your house and making sure you got your vaccination. And if they want to fucking whack you, they'll fucking do it with the vaccination. It's not a problem.
What do you think? What do you think is the solution? You think it's like a different mindset that we have to think?
No, the people have to come together. The people have to stop saying, it's the Jews. Okay, and realize it's the fucking rich people, and it's the fucking, and it's the, you know, look, it's the rich people. The rich people want the planet to be like this. If they wanted it different, then we'd have a 21st century infrastructure. We'd have an honest fucking media giving us honest fucking information. The rich people own the media, right? Okay, figure it out. It's the goddamn rich people.
But don't equate Israel with the Jews, because I'm a Jew, and that's very offensive. Because
I think it's fucking offensive too, and
the Lord is not a real estate agent, and He doesn't promise something.
I agree. I think it's disgusting for a country to have a fucking religion. No fucking ground has a fucking religion. And if you do, then there's a problem, because you know what happens? Then fucking people get executed for blasphemy and bullshit like that. That's fucking idiotic. That's Dark Ages fucking crap.
It is. That's why it shouldn't be equated to just a single religion like the way they want us to equate them.
I agree.
And
I think
them as that.
I don't do that.
With people. It's just a nation with people. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a nation with people like the U.S.
All right.
That's it.
I gotta take a break for a minute. What's your name?
Jay from Texas.
Hey Jay,
thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man. No, it's good to hear from you, and I'm glad that you tuned in and gave us a ring. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk to you
safe,
soon.
Okay.
Yeah, you too.
Take it easy.
You too. I am gonna be right back. I just need a second here. Let me give you some good advice. Ah, shit. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What?
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky. Some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
All right, so I want to play this clip for you because people keep talking about it. It's the clip where I'm sorry, I put it back on the browser wall. It's the clip where what do we got happening here? It looks hairy out there, boys and girls. Please be safe. Again, if you haven't seen it, it's the clip where the guy is at the AutoZone and he's got a hammer. He's all dressed in black, and he's got like an umbrella. And people keep talking about it, so I want to make sure that you see it just in case you haven't seen it yet. I will play it for you now.
It's Minneapolis, 3rd Precinct. That's the police station right there. That's why I'm doing this shit, guys. What the? I ain't got part of that shit. Dude. Oh, I zoomed in. I'll zoom out a little bit. Those cops will come for you if you're pulling that crap.
Looks like, yeah. So as you can see, the AutoZone.
Guy just came with a hammer and smashed the windows.
I'm gonna fight you right now. You wanna go? What's up? Somebody hold my blunt.
Hey!
Somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna give it to him. Hey! Are you a fucking cop? What's up?
I got the bong warmed up here. It's going to take a second to cool down. And I got one lined up for Woolco. It's a nice one, Woolco. Oh, look at how pretty it is. And I'm going to do that in just a sec here. Ugh. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I think you need to go down to those places and start passing out weed. That will calm the whole situation down, and the United States will get high.
Well, I think something tells me most of these people know where to find weed if they want weed, so...
Well, they need more.
But I will encourage them all to fucking properly begin eating marijuana, because obviously many of them are not eating enough marijuana.
I agree. Do you suggest either cookies or brownies, or both?
Well, I make brownies because brownies are simpler, but I actually prefer cookies. I can make cookies this one perfect dose, you know, and like, as we're brownies, you kind of like, it's difficult to give people brownies because, you know, you say, okay, there's like fucking 8 doses in that brownie, and then they eat the whole thing, and they're like, dude, what did you do to me? Like, what do you mean? I gave you my personal stash. I treated you like a friend. What are you talking about?
You should have one thing of brownies that have weed in it, and one thing of brownies that you say doesn't have weed in it, and then as people get the ones that say it doesn't have it in it, they all get super tripped, and then you just switch it, and then just keep doing that and get people really high. I think that'll turn around all these riots.
No, I don't like dosing people that don't know that they're... I don't like dosing people. I think, you know, people should know what they're in for, and, you know, not that if they haven't ever had a marijuana brownie that they will know what they're in for, but to, you know, you can put somebody off something forever if you like, you know, if you were to give them marijuana and they didn't have a good time for whatever reason. Hey, Craig. Okay, so you know what I mean? We want people to have a positive marijuana. You gotta put something else on that. Okay. You want people to have a positive experience, or even if they don't have a positive experience, not to be like somehow like not know what's going on. They'll wind up in the hospital.
I want people to be so high that they don't know what's going on.
No, because they wind up, they get scared. They get scared and they wind up in the hospital. And then assholes at the hospital start jacking up their bill every way they can, including pumping their stomach. And that will guarantee you do not have a good time. You thought you were having a bad time? Wait till they stick that hose down your fucking throat.
Fine. I think you're too moralistic.
Maybe.
You have too much morals.
Maybe. But, you know,
Alrighty.
Well, most people would probably not agree. So, you know.
Maybe. But some people would probably enjoy it. Like other trolls.
No, most people would probably not agree that I have too many morals or whatever.
Okay. Well, that's good. Too many morals gets in the way.
Yeah. You just got to have them about the right things.
Absolutely. All right. Well, enjoy.
Good to talk to you.
Bye.
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 What now? Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long. Yes, yes, so long, don't you know? That was a good one, Wilco. Oh, baby! Hello, caller.
Did Walco come back?
Did Wilco come back?
Yeah, they went there yesterday.
I believe he did come back. He was in the
That's
chat.
awesome.
He was in the chat room earlier.
All right, I'm not really around my computer. I'm like in my backyard because I don't want to disturb people.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a nice place to be.
But hey, what I wanted to ask you is that, do you remember last night when I was, this is Cecil, by the way.
Oh, hey, Cecil.
Yeah, sorry. Remember last night when I was saying, like, why aren't protesters, like, attacking major news companies?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're actually attacking major news companies.
Yeah, well, I think that they see it's not something new. They protested outside. I remember 9/11 truthers, outside Fox News for like a year. So
Okay, well, is there somewhere that I can, like, donate or thumbs up or something about protesters attacking major mainstream buildings and just, like, break the antenna off the top of the shit and tell them to shut up and go away? Or maybe the president could sign an executive order where he just says, look, all these major places like CNN, MSNBC, and all them, you're performing psychological warfare against the American people, and as such, you are a domestic enemy, and we're just going to shut you down. We're going to send military there and just seize all your property, and you can just shut up for the rest of your life.
well, except for they're part of the government, really. I mean, they all have Department of Homeland Security people assigned to them, CIA people assigned to them, you know. That.
All right, but what I'm saying is we, the people, should be able to draft something in Congress or something and say, like, hey, I don't want these people broadcasting in my airspace anymore. Just knock it off.
I think, you know what, I think if this thing keeps up where they keep smashing CNN, they might get the message. We'll see.
Because, there's only a certain group of people who own those major broadcasting, like they're extremely rich people.
Right. This is part of the problem. Again, you got to focus on the real enemy. The real enemy. The only threat to our government, the only threat to our freedom is our government and their police state, and the real people that are the problem are the super rich. So, because if they wanted a 21st, the simplest way I know how to explain it is if they wanted a 21st century infrastructure, we'd have one, and that would make us the envy of the world. And they clearly don't want us to have that. So, fuck those people, because they're the only ones keeping us from having it. So we're clear. That's how you recognize the real enemy. Go ahead.
Yeah, they should and all these like major social media companies, they should just be like, look, you can't be saying, there's certain things you can't allow, and everything else is free speech, because in the long run, freedom of speech is actually the healthiest form of speech. Because I don't know about you, but if somebody wants to do me some harm, I'd like them to be able to vent it in public and say, hey, I don't really like you very much.
Well, I've said that again and again, is that you want to know who people are. People say, they used to say, why don't you shut down all these like shithole comments, people that are fucking obviously trolls. And I'm like, because you need to know who those people are. So you don't start a conversation with them, so you don't get into a fucking, trolls are sticky. You don't want to get one stuck to you. And if I let them show you right up front that they're fucking douchebags, why would you ever get into a conversation with them?
Right. They say that a troll's worst enemy is a hippie.
I guess they're talking about me.
No, because like a troll is trying to like piss you off, and hippies are like, just chill out, man.
Yeah, I've been called worse than that, dude.
They're just like, don't worry about it. Yeah, and they say that if you're getting trolled online and you have a hippie sitting right next to you, then you don't have to worry about it. I saw that on a website somewhere.
Well, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there should be a sticker that says that or have something to do with that.
Yeah, that'd make a great T-shirt for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when I lived down in San Diego, there was this taco shop. It was called Taco Surf.
Yeah.
And Taco Surf. And it was like one of the only white boy owned places all throughout all of San Diego. This whole Mexican food. And the owner looked like Jerry Garcia.
Huh. Well, cool. And it's good.
Yeah.
And it's good food, huh?
Yeah, man. Mexicans make some of the best food ever.
Well, I mean, but it's not always. I mean, if it's not made by the right people, it's not necessarily good. Some Mexican food can be extremely bland, and to me, that ain't Mexican food.
That was the first place I ever had potato roll tacos.
Huh, that sounds interesting.
And and you know, they like made a mash, and they made spicy mash, basically, and then you wrap the thing around there and throw it in the oil, and it's potato roll taco.
Huh. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hippies know how to do something right.
Hippies know how to do lots of things right. Ask their wives.
Yeah, man. So what are we gonna do about the country burning down and stuff?
Just stay cool. That's the only thing we can do. Look, it's like the same thing with the plague. Look, the plague hit, and I'm like, can you guys just stay cool for like 2 weeks, right? You know, knowing
like 2 months though.
I know it's been like 4 months since I started saying 2 weeks, or maybe 5 months since I started saying 2 weeks. But the whole point is that if you can stay cool for 2 weeks, this isn't going to be a problem, you know. And it hasn't been, has it? Has it been a problem?
Nah.
No, it hasn't been. And that's the whole thing. If they'll just let us get our fucking world back, if the fucking evil mind control media will get the fuck out of town, you know, and the government will reprioritize. If we could put actual people who care about the working class American citizens, you know, that would probably go. That would probably make a huge difference in what's happening in our lives. But not that that's going to happen tomorrow. But this is, you know, the people coming together is key to that. The people recognizing the real and true threat to our own personal freedom is key to that. Is key to the people coming together. And that's what my work has been about all, you know, forever. So,
right.
You know, like I've always said, you know, I don't do this for Republicans. I don't do this for Democrats or liberals or conservatives. Those things, those are just labels that really don't work for people. You know, they might even label themselves that, but the truth is they have so many more dimensions that it's just stupid to try and fit into a box like that. And I feel bad for the people who really do try to do it.
The cool thing about the plague is it had this like psychological effect where it like made a lot of people show their true colors, like who's like, it's almost like a emotional pressure test, like showed like how many people are like truly afraid and who aren't, and like who can like think, you know what I mean? I mean, it seems kind of like a drill to me.
See, that's part of the thing where I say, can you stay cool for 2 weeks? Because if I look at you and I say, can you stay cool for 4 months? People go, Jesus, I don't know if I can stay cool for 4 months. But you know, if I say, can you stay cool for 2 weeks? And here we are, you know, 4 months later, and it's cool, man. We're getting through it, except for, you know, everything's on fire. But that's been coming a long time too. And, you know, we'll see what the outcome is. But again, we're going to get through this. And I don't even think everything's on fire. It's going to last two weeks. And I'm pretty sure by the time it's done being the main story in the news cycle, that the COVID will kind of become like a secondary story or something, you know, like or we'll only do the first 15 minutes of news about COVID, and then we'll move on to the other news in the world.
They said COVID Part 2 might come back in the fall.
Well, they definitely are planting the seed for a second lockdown. There's no doubt about that.
Right. But, I mean, it's still burning. Like, if they're just going to burn, like, restaurant chains, they're going to get rebuilt because of insurance anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we should just freaking burn shit for 2 weeks, bro.
Well,
I'm down with that.
Look,
I mean, fuck it. I'll go burn down a freaking Starbucks or some shit.
Everything,
right?
Right. Everything's on fire. Look, don't burn down things. Just stay cool. Okay? Like I said, if you stay cool, we'll get through this. If you go and burn down stuff, then maybe you'll be arrested and your life will be basically over forever.
No, bro. I was saying you missed the point I was making there. Have you seen any private businesses get burned down, bro? Because all the thing I've seen on cameras is major chains like Arby's, Target.
Yeah,
it's going to get rebuilt because of insurance.
I don't know. Look, I'm not there on the ground. I don't know what's happening, and I don't trust the media all of a sudden to be reporting it properly. So,
dude, you see that shit where who was it that got arrested? CNN or some news company got arrested?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. That was like a freaking theatrics. That was like choreographed and shit. Okay, all the officers stand in front of the camera. Okay, now it is say you is under arrest. Oh, why am I under arrest? Oh, okay, I'm going away haircut now. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they do that. I think it's in order to make it look like maybe CNN isn't in cahoots with the police on everything, you know, which is stupid because, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, CNN is part of the police state, just like Fox News, just like MSNBC, just like all the major media, and your local news also. They want so much to team up with the local police so that they have people that they can call and say, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? It's very important that they have very copacetic relationships with police. So.
Oh yeah. They scratch each other's backs for sure, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, the point is like, we don't know that this all wasn't some type of choreographed major event like Occupy Wall Street had rumors for being. Remember? Like, they were saying that was part of Open Source Foundation and a couple of these other, like, NGO, like, they recruit crisis actors off Craigslist and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to go burn anything down, bro. But, I mean, if for some reason it became like the freaking festival of the burning Arby's or whatever for 2 weeks every year, I wouldn't cry. Fuck that. Let's burn a Jack in the Box down, too.
Hey, now you're getting a little close to home there. No, I'm not kidding. I don't eat that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I don't eat that shit. But yeah, I just, you know, I don't want people to get in trouble. You know, that's the main thing because again, the police state wants nothing more than to get their hooks into you, and once they do, it's very hard to get those hooks out.
Yeah.
So I advise staying out of trouble as much as possible.
Oh yeah, bro, I stay out of trouble all the time. I got a job and all kinds of. I was a business owner until COVID happened, and then I got shortness of breath, and I couldn't have a business anymore. I'll be fine though.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're. Well, if you're working and stuff, then you must be strong.
Yeah, man, it's like all these small, little, privately owned businesses are getting shut down, but big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and Google and all them, for some reason, they're allowed to hire all kinds of people, and nobody says anything.
Yeah.
You notice that?
They seem to be very in control of the dialogue.
I don't know. Maybe I should go buy some stocks and try to play the stock market and make some money that way, or you know.
If you have money, I mean, you know, there seems to be an opportunity at this moment in the stock market, but who knows what. Look, if you go and buy stocks and then, you know, they have this, oh, there's the second wave hitting, boom, you know, and which they're going to do all fucking summer long. Oh, look, there's a peak. Oh, look, there's a peak. And then they're going to like, oh, no, you know, it's going to be horrible. But whatever you want to invest in, just, you know, do whatever you got to do, man.
I mean, I understand if this was like Ebola that has like a 9% kill rate or whatever, but this doesn't even have like 0.25% of a kill rate. And like, there's all kinds of people coming out saying, yeah, no, this is just like a normal flu or whatever. Like, it's just like having an extra flu. And like, people are flipping out and all these like new normals are popping up, bro.
Right,
and, like,
right.
I'm not cool with some of the new normals, man.
I hear you. Look,
You know?
I don't wear a mask. We went to the grocery store the other day, and we were like the only people in there that weren't wearing masks. And I was like, holy shit, dude, that was really that was like the first time I experienced that. And it was really weird. I was like, man, I never felt like so many people cared about me so much.
Yeah, man, but I mean,
you know,
girls...
they say the mask doesn't protect you, you know, so they're trying to protect me, and I just felt like all these people care about me so much.
I mean, a bunch of people want to call the Coronal Chan like a nothing burger, but it definitely is a something burger. There's like definitely advantages to it. Like, for example, if a girl has like a messed up grill or something, she can put a mask on and now she can become cute and stuff. Or I don't know.
Well,
Like
look, no. I heard one of the fucking idiots on CNN tonight talking about the protesters and saying, well, at least they're being safe wearing masks. And I'm thinking, you are a fucking moron, man. You have never been to a fucking black bloc protest in your life. Yeah, they're all being safe wearing masks. What a fucking moron. Do you even understand we live in a police state?
Yeah, the freaking mask can morph into like a riot helmet or something. We are all freaking.
Well, it's a fucking.
What's his name? Floyd.
George Floyd.
We are all George Floyd.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we all have that fucking cop on our neck, that cop's boot on our neck, dude. I've talked about this forever. You know, all we want to do is live our lives. We're good people. Get the fucking boot off our neck. It's inappropriate. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's what happened, though. They broadcast that picture of that cop with his boot on the neck, and now we're all George Floyd, and there's groups of people running around cities burning stuff down.
Well,
Okay, so that was like a psychological weapon they fired at us, and now there's a bunch of people running around burning our own cities down.
Right, I hear you. I think that look, I think that it's very strange the way they killed that guy in public, knowingly, obviously murdering him, and because
like that cop was like posing and shit, like he looked like he was like actually posing for a freaking.
Yeah, he's got his hand in his pocket and is holding his head high and shit. The cops know how to kill people, right? I mean, all they have to do is put him in the fucking truck and give him the rough ride. That's what they do in Baltimore to Freddie Gray. They put him in the back of the truck and they fucking gave him the rough ride down to the station. And when he came out of the truck, he was dead. Whoa. Go figure. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated to kill someone. So, and they know better than they know, they're very aware of cameras and such, right? So they knew they were murdering the guy. They knew the cameras were filming them. They knew they were going to be fucking world famous. And still they did it. But again, if you are ever in this same situation, people talk again and again about how they would have rushed the cop and pushed their way past the cop, and all you got to do is stop fucking filming and take your phone and throw it right at that motherfucker's face. And I guarantee you he will get off that guy. Okay? So that's all you have to do. You don't have to rush over there and kick him in the head. Okay? Because it's very difficult to make that kind of a move. But you already got the fucking phone right in your hand. All you got to do is stop looking at the goddamn screen and throw it right at the motherfucker's face, and he'll stop. Okay? Don't forget I told you how to do this.
Okay, I'm not gonna do anything like that, but and usually if I just point a camera at one, they like shrivel and fall away.
Right. Well, that's not what happened here, and it's not what happened with Eric Gardner. And
well, that's because the demons were also holding the cameras because their name is CNN.
Okay.
See, it was demons filming other demons doing demonic stuff. Okay, if I was there and I had a camera, they'd be like, "Oh shit, here's a good person with a camera."
Everyone has fucking cameras, dude. There was other people there. They were filming immediately after Eric Garner died. Minutes after, the cop who had the stranglehold on him was seen by one of the people that was with Eric Garner, flashing a peace sign to her phone saying, "I'm going to Disneyland." Okay? They know that they're not afraid of the cameras, but okay, what I'm saying is so many people have said, "Oh, I would have rushed over there and kicked the guy in the head, or I would have, rushed past the cops." Well, you know what? Most people aren't probably able to rush past the cops and do something like that. But you have a phone in your hand. Stop staring at the fucking screen and throw it right at the motherfucker's face, and I guarantee you he will get off the guy, and you will save his life. Okay, so if that's what you really want to make happen, then actually do it. But don't fucking talk about it and be all, "Oh, I would have run over there." This is the smartest, because you're steps away from them, and you're not gonna fucking they're not gonna be right on top of you. They'll be on top of you, but I mean, you're gonna have a couple of steps, and that's the whole point, to draw them off of the fucker. Okay, so in order to stop them from murdering someone, okay, and you have the right. If someone is murdering someone, you have the right to stop them from doing that. Absolutely, 100%.
Right, but how could he, George Floyd was on the ground and he was yelling that he was being suffocated. But how could he yell that he was being suffocated if he was being suffocated? Feel me? Somebody is trying to cut off your air supply, so how could he yell that he was being suffocated? I don't understand that part.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. It looks weird.
Right.
I already agree. Look, I'm not going to question whether George Floyd died or not. Okay? I mean, we watched him die. We watched him be murdered. Okay? I will question what it is that happened. But I'm not going to question whether he was murdered or not. We all saw it. We've seen it again and again. And it's obvious that, that what happened there, dude. And it's not right to act like somehow he didn't fucking die.
I'm sure somebody died like that somewhere sometime, and that maybe we're just watching a drill, because a lot of times what they'll do is they won't disclose the actual name because they don't want people to be copycat criminals and all, and they don't want him to go down in history as being an idol or whatever, and there'd be copycat killers and stuff. I'm sure that a lot of school shootings were like that too. School shootings did happen, but they just changed the names of the people and stuff like that, and still used it to change and pass laws and everything, because they just didn't disclose all the names because certain people didn't want their, If I had a kid that was killed by some murderer at school, I wouldn't want to be famous over that.
Did you see the video with 3 cops on top of George Floyd?
Yeah, I saw that, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, I had a cop tell me that if I urinated on somebody's car door handle, the driver's side, that was assault.
Wow.
That was assault. Okay, so my question is, if I urinate on an ATM, how many cases of assault is that?
Well, I don't know what your obsession with urinating on things are, but I would.
No, I didn't do that, bro. I'm saying that, like, if you were, like, in college and somebody dared you and you're, like, you're all drunk and you, like, pissed on somebody's freaking driver's side because you didn't like them or whatever, you know, on the car, right? I had a cop tell me that was actually assault in King County.
Well, cops, look, cops will say shit, okay? I had a cop ask me if I was a sexual deviant.
All right, yeah, I've never had a cop ask me that, but my point is if I urinate on a bank ATM, is that like mass assault or something like that? Is that like?
Look, I don't want to think about.
Okay,
that,
man. All right, cool. I don't want to think about it either.
So. Anyways.
But banks are another big problem that we have, though, bro. I think that in charging interest on loans is like slavery.
Banks are evil. Banks suck. Big part of this fucking COVID-19 is a bank bailout, as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave the banks, the reason that they didn't say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to have a rent and mortgage freeze so that no one loses their business and no one loses their home. Instead, they went, oh, well, we'll give you a bunch of money for unemployment for the people who work, and we'll give you a check for $1,200. The reason they didn't do the other thing is because all that money that they give the people, it just goes straight to the banks anyways, So
yeah, that money's ours. I think I should get more than freaking. I'm like, I don't know about you, bro, but when I work full time, I make more than $1,200 a month.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good. I'm glad you hear that.
I was working in a restaurant when I was working in a restaurant before all this shit happened, and I basically lost my job. I was working 2 jobs, both of them in kitchens. And they had to shut down. So I'll take $1,200 per month.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Oh, there's a Starbucks on fire. Craig found a Starbucks on fire.
Is there one? Or what city?
He's working on it.
Is it Seattle?
Is it Seattle? Oakland.
Oh, shit, that's close enough. At least that's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time that people stood up and said, hey, we're tired of being mistreated by our governments and stuff like that. This is a little bit too much.
Well, yeah, we have to recognize the real enemy, okay? And it's not the Republicans and it's not the Democrats. It's both the Republicans and the Democrats. They're the ones who led us to this moment. They're the ones who helped fucking militarize the police forces. They're the ones who kept all these stupid fucking drug war laws in places. They're the ones who every fucking year pass 47,000 laws that just over-criminalize an already over-criminalized fucking population even more. It's the Republicans and the Democrats are fucking evil. They must go. And I feel bad for you if you identify in that way. And I'm not talking about voters.
Bro.
I'm not talking about voters.
You can't be talking about my identification.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to a lot of people.
Okay.
I feel bad for people who identify in that way because those people have got you sold on a bill of goods that you're way smarter than that. Yeah. So
we live in a freaking SJW political activist land now where the way that people identify is sacred. Me personally, I identify as a TAC helicopter.
Yeah, I identify as a lesbian trapped in a man's body.
Yeah, me too, dude. Me too sometimes. That's they caught Bill Gates talking about something like the final solution or something like that the other night. Oh, what was he on? He was on some comedy show or some fake freaking news channel that's on freaking the Comedy Channel or something like that. And like the dude waves his hands around. Gates waves his hands around like he thinks he's a fucking wizard or some shit. And it's like, he was talking about, yeah, we're going to have the final solution. And the guy he was talking about was like, hey, maybe you should use different words than a final solution. I was kind of like, you know, like,
That does
yeah, we
seem...
probably shouldn't be talking about poor people like that, you know?
Yeah. I hear you. I think, there's something wrong with Bill Gates. That guy is just not in anybody's best interest, in my opinion, except for his own. You know, I always say if there is a Dr. Evil on this planet, it's probably Bill Gates. So.
My favorite meme that I saw about Gates online was this thing. It was a picture of him, and it was like, Bill Gates can't even keep viruses off Windows 10, let alone human beings.
Yeah.
And he's like standing there with a freaking syringe in his hand. Like, that dude was a computer nerd from the freaking longest time. Then all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that he just switched over and now he's in pharmaceuticals and he's a doctor and he knows about all this shit.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. I hear you. No, what I see is you know what? I hear you. I get, and this is what's happening so they're getting ready to institute martial law with the protesters from nation, you know, across the nation, and then they're going to lock us down. And this is why all of a sudden the puzzle pieces fit into place, right? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was asking about why the Secretary of Defense was at a COVID-19 press conference talking about how they were going to have plenty of vaccines for the whole country by the first of the year. Why do I want to hear that from the Pentagon? And the Pentagon, you know, I don't want anything from the Pentagon any more than I want it from this fucking, for-profit medical industrial complex. I don't trust either one of them, and all of a sudden, you know, here's the Secretary of Defense saying we'll have plenty of vaccines for everyone come the first of the year, and now here we are on the verge of martial law, and so, you know, all we need is martial law, a second wave, and boom, forced vaccinations, right?
Dude, I don't think so, bro. If somebody attempts to forcibly enter me with a piece of steel, that's called a fight.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, look, I've been real clear about this. I bite. Okay, so I'm gonna walk out of here. You need to step out of the way so that I don't have to hurt anybody, because I'm not joking when I say I bite. I will bite your fucking nose off. Okay, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Or like, it's the law. It's the law. You know, you're allowed to defend yourself with like and force. So if you try to stick a needle in me, that means I get to stick a needle in you, right?
Yeah, stick a fucking baseball bat up your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah, some type of something sharp at your ass. Like, leave me alone with that shit. I'm not. Nah, bro. Nobody's freaking doing that. I'll go freaking live in a freaking leper colony out in the middle of fucking woods before somebody does that shit to me.
Well, they're not called leper colonies. They're called re-education camps. I'm sorry, happy re-education camps. Well, you don't have a choice, my friend. The app on your phone says yellow light. Yellow light means you go to the camp until you get a green
yellow light.
Yellow light on the app on your phone.
I don't have one of those phones.
Oh, well, you will. It's going to be required.
No, I'm not having no chips, no phones, no collars, none of that shit.
We'll see.
I'll go freaking back to analog if I have to.
We'll see. I'm just saying, you know, I see things, you know, I see. Like I said, I was wondering why the fuck the Secretary of Defense, you know, the head of the Pentagon was at a press conference like 3 weeks ago talking about how they were going to have plenty of vaccines for everybody in the United States by the first of the year. And I'm thinking, I didn't want a vaccine before I knew the Pentagon was involved, but now it all makes sense. Now it all becomes clear. Look what's happening. The martial law is minutes away from being instituted. And then, you know, they just keep the lockdown because we have a second wave of the COVID-19. And a bunch of police officers have gotten sick, so we have to have the military out there. And now, you know, there's roadblocks everywhere, and you got to get tested, and you got to get your vaccine, otherwise can't go through the roadblock.
Yeah, I don't know. I just might just move off the edge of the city and go live somewhere else out there, bro. I'd rather go get a chance of being eaten by the Canadian bears than live in that hellhole.
Oh, I love the Canadian bears. Don't worry, they won't, as long as you're not afraid of them, they won't eat you.
Do you really play dead and they leave you alone?
No. I kiss them on the lips, and they go, okay, this guy's cool.
Do they have honey?
When I was 9 years old, I went to this place and they had a black bear. And the black bear ate a Fig Newton cookie out of my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, weird. I don't have any fear anymore of like a lot of stuff like bears. Bears are my brother.
Yeah, I heard about people living with wolves and stuff like that, and cobras and all kinds of dangerous animals.
Okay, so this upper left-hand video is looting Starbucks, apparently.
Looting Starbucks?
What's that, Craig? Oh, in Los Angeles. Yeah, looting Starbucks. There's a bunch of fucking people dressed in black, and they're going in and out, seeing what they can take. It doesn't look like they're taking a whole lot.
That's freaking fourth generation warfare right there, buddy. You don't know who the hell they are. They're all dressed the same. They all look the same.
They all got face masks on.
Yeah, they all got face masks on because COVID is shit. And they're going in there and freaking taking whatever they want because they actually own this shit. The people actually own everything here.
Our streets.
And not... Yeah.
Our streets.
Yeah. So that's like the highest generation of warfare. That's what that's why we never really won in Vietnam, and that's why we never really won in Iraq. Because those people all wear masks over there all the time, at least in the Middle East anyway. They all wear masks over there, and all soldiers would be over there, and somebody would come out of a crowd of a bunch of people dressed the exact same way and just freaking light them up with an AK-47 or RPG, and then they just disappear right back into the crowd where everybody looks the same again.
Sorry. Yeah, I think that there's some kind of, there's no doubt in my mind that there's agent provocateurs, you know, out in the crowd. So, you know, and again, look, I tell people, look, I don't want people getting in trouble. You get in trouble with this fucking police state, and you stay in trouble for the rest of your life. Don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't protest. I'm not saying, you know, we don't own the fucking streets. I'm just saying don't, you know, look, I can't imagine myself going into a place and taking stuff that doesn't belong to me, you know.
Don't be like a solo protester and go down and loot the Walmart, but just all by myself.
Yeah, go for it, dude. That would be. Make sure you wear you have like a sign that says "Justice for George Floyd."
Yeah, and put like a mask and stuff, and just be, I'm a single protester. I'm looting.
Just fill up your cart, man. Just fill up your cart.
Walmart is like a freaking fortress, bro. With all the cameras on the outside.
They have cameras. There's no doubt about that.
And security guards, hidden security guards and shit.
Yeah. They have security, there's no doubt. I mean, they don't want people pushing fucking grocery carts of fucking shit out their door.
I'd never do that, bro. But if I did do it, I'd do it for George Floyd.
Yeah, like I said, I just can't imagine, doing that. And the main thing is I don't want people to get in trouble. Look, like I said, this fucking police state will fuck your life forever with, the never-ending fucking trail that on today's fucking, internet world follows you everywhere you go. The last thing you want is to be somehow involved in the police state. So be careful. Make smart decisions.
Nah, I just want to do stuff for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I hear you.
Alright, man. I think I took up a little bit too much of your time already.
I think Craig has another caller too, so it's cool. Thanks very much for calling. I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, bro. Good health.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
See ya. I gotta get a bottle of water. I'm out of water, and I think I got a cup of tea downstairs. So I think we'll leave the live feed going here for a minute, and I will go get a drink of water. I'm gonna go get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go. I'll be right back. Stay. I'll be right back.
Got multiple
push.
This is super crazy in my city.
I got 1.5
man
that wondering what the hell's going on.
This is super crazy in my city.
Just like
this is what's the audio what's going on right now. How you feeling? Hey nigga, stay safe, cuz. For real, for real. Look! This is what's the audio what's going on right now. Nigga, stay safe, cuz.
Because the dude would have to be stealing to get by, you know what I mean? Main Street. Go to Deep Ellum. Luton and Deep Ellum.
That's Fire Main and Commerce. Shit is pants.
Ooh, okay. They getting close
Deep
now.
They shooting them bitches.
They're shooting.
Taunton and Elm Street.
We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. Ah, lovely cup of tea. So Craig says we could probably do a show tomorrow night if you guys want to do a show tomorrow night. Because there will be protests going on. And we might do it a little bit earlier, like 6 p.m. or something. You just can't get enough, can you, Jack and Cat? I need some salt. Excuse me just a minute. I need a little salt. Do I have somebody a bong hit? What do you mean, where's your bowl? Where's my donation? I will be happy to do a puff for you if you give a donation. It will be my honor to do that for you. Dabs for Donation Friday. So far we have done 2 dabs. One for Wilco, thanks Wilco, and one for Mike from Southern California. And one for me. All right, so let's see. Craig says we can keep going if you guys want to keep going. He's cooking a little bit of pasta, so I'm gonna have to eat a little bit of food here in a minute. But if you want, and I don't mind, you know, I mean, stuff definitely happening, so I don't mind keeping it going. I don't mind, you know, making sure that everybody's able to see what it is that's going on, because, you know, we don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. Hello, caller.
Hello. This is Super Voltron currently, right now.
Super
Giving a birthday shout out. I'm giving a birthday shout out to my little buddy, Brylan. It was his birthday today. And we hung out all day long with an adventure trail and Freddy's and the mall and video games and buying a knife. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this little kid, Brylan, is one of the greatest kids in the world. He is a legitimate human being that is going to be on the forces of good. Standing here with me, Super Voltron. And we are giving him a birthday shout out right now currently, because today is his birthday. And we need to let him know how much we care about him and how smart he is and how great he is going to be. And he is a superhero. Brylan, I love you so much. You're my little buddy. Happy birthday.
Okay, thanks for calling. So I'm not sure what's going on in Los Angeles. It looks like
hang up. My phone is fucking retarded.
What now? Are you done? Okay, so, oh, did you see that helicopter just fly underneath the other helicopter? That was pretty cool. That Los Angeles shot's pretty good. I want to see what's going on better on this Los Angeles shot. Let's see what's happening here for a minute. I'm not sure what's happening there, but that's LA, and it looks like that's what the helicopters are focused on, whatever's going on there. I don't think it's exactly like another police station or something. Ooh, what's that? What's that crowd right there? Whoops, moved that wrong. Damn it. What's that? Ooh, Dallas. Dallas looks like it's hot too. It's hot out there, people. It's getting hot out there. So if anybody wants to call and talk about what we see happening across the world, if you think that martial law is coming next, or whatever you think, I'm not trying to program you. Sorry, I am so hungry right now. 3 dabs in. So if anybody wants to talk, again, the number is 805-669-6397. It's very, very crunchy indeed. 805-669-6397. Feel free to call anytime. We can talk about it, whatever you like. But what I see happening in Dallas, what I see happening in Los Angeles, what I see happening in Minneapolis, is blowback. Okay, I don't know. I've said again and again and again, blowback is a real thing, and I've specifically made on-camera videos talking to the cops saying blowback is a real thing. Come on, we can't. You know, you can only push the people so far, and then they push back. So we have to, again, please support the people in the streets, okay? They are standing up against a heavily armed, trigger-happy police state government, which has zero respect for them or their lives. So they're definitely putting their lives on the line, and I hope that the protesters do try and stay safe, because you know, those cops ain't messing around, and they're no fun to have to deal with. That does sound pretty good. I will take another dab after we do. Ooh, I got more. I got another donation. Let's see. I got another donation. I owe another dab to someone. Who do I owe a dab to? DJ. All right, DJ. I got a dab for you. I got DJ. Just kicked down $5. $5 definitely calls for a dab. And Craig has been sending out Mox News stickers, by the way, to anybody who donates $5 or more. He's sending you out Mox News stickers. I think he said like 10 of them. And he's also sending out Mox News business card, which is total collector's item with you know, knowledge is free and all that. So if anybody wants those guys, you lovely people that have kicked down for pizza money tonight, you will be receiving stickers in the mail. So thanks so much as a thank you gesture. Besides a big fat lovely dab, a big fat lovely dab, and we're definitely working on the My Cock for President stickers. My Cock for President, because my cock is what America is all about. Don't you know? I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Hello, caller.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Steve motherfucking McClanahan and shit.
Hey, Steve.
Running for president of the United States of America currently. How are you doing tonight, Michael?
I'm good.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Are you feeling good currently? Because I'm feeling amazing. Because I tell you what, I'm going to win the presidency. I'm keeping a positive attitude whether you like it or not at the end of the fucking day. Currently. Michael, how are you feeling?
Working on it.
You're working on it. I just said all that shit, and then you just sum it up with one word? Are you fucking serious? Currently, this is complete bullshit. I tell you what, I swear to God, Mike, my cock is, it's hard right now. It feels, but no, it's not. No. What am I even talking about? Like, this is pornographic, behavior. My mind currently is blown. America is currently setting ourselves on fire. Spontaneous human combustion, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard of it? And then all of a sudden, it's just like COVID-19, COVID-19. Does anybody know about COVID-19 currently? Does anybody know about COVID-19?
What are the death totals today?
COVID-19?
How are we supposed to go? How are we supposed to go forward without knowing what the death totals are today, Steve?
I have no idea how are we supposed to go forward. We can't go forward. We're just gonna have to reverse. It's called retarding. We're not advancing. It's completely fucked currently. I mean, I like a good bonfire. But I tell you what, I don't want to be standing there with friends and then we're like hanging out and then all of a sudden the goddamn tire blows out and fucking hits me in the face. Not a good idea. But currently, as running for president of the United States, I just have to say once again, people, Michael told you, you have a cell phone. There was like,
that one's for you, DJ.
I'm gonna go with a configuration about like 10 to 12 people with cell phones. If you motherfuckers would have just taken your cell phones out of your hand and you just would have thrown it at his fucking forehead, knocked him out, somebody would have filmed it, you'd have been the greatest person ever. Or going back to the old days of football. And then, because we don't have any football currently, I swear to fucking God, sports, Tetris is on Sports Center.
For you, DJ.
I am obsessed with Tetris gaming now because it's on Sports Center. It's completely fucked. But I swear to God, you just get down, you gotta get down. You gotta get down, and then you just run over, tackle this motherfucker live on TV, and then you are fucking saving the day. And I tell you what, people are saying this is fake. They're saying it's fake. Nobody knows anything anymore. But Stephen Clarion does. We are legalizing THC tranquilizer cards for everyone. And then, I tell you what, when world peace happens, nobody's going to be wanting to waste their fucking THC tranquilizer cards. They're not going to, or they're going to be bored, and they're just going to like, the cops will be sitting there together, hanging out, and they'll be like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know nothing to do. And all of a sudden, they just shoot their fucking partner with the fucking THC tranquilizer dart in the squad car, because they're bored. They're bored, like, just dude, like, Jesus Christ, I'm shit to do, nobody. And then all of a sudden, there's a guy at the grocery store. He's freaking out. They just cap him with a couple of THC tranquilizer darts. And then all of a sudden, they're hanging out. Everything's cool, nothing to do. And then we're taking you to Taco Bell instead of jail. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve McClanahan. Vote for Steve motherfucking McClanahan. Hey, Berman Supreme, are you listening here? We ain't fucking giving ponies because they're not real, okay? With horns and shit, with rainbows, we're not doing that. You would put a boot on your pony's horn. You asshole! I'm telling you, Berman, I'm coming after you right now. You would put a boot over your horn, and that's not good. Yeah, that is blackface for fucking ponies and unicorns. It's completely fucked. I'm telling you, the world is fucked right now, currently. I gotta go. But vote for Steve motherfucking McClanahan. Just make sure you get the whole name correct, because I tell you what, voter fraud is running rampant everywhere. It's running rampant everywhere.
It's everywhere. I talk about playing the Halo game. That's one of the things that there's not very many lines that the enemy says, but one of them is, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's only you, but they're like, run away. And it looks like there's stuff going on in Seattle. So again, tomorrow there's gonna be a couple of big protests in some. I think. Are you down to do a show tomorrow, Craig? Yeah, okay, so we'll do it. I'll talk to Craig about what time in a minute here. But Craig says he's down to do a show tomorrow, so we'll do a show tomorrow because I think there's gonna be some shit hitting the fan tomorrow. So we'll have to pay attention, and since it's going on, as the time is now, we want to make sure and pay attention to what's happening now. And that means tomorrow. And if it looks like Sunday is going to be a big day, then we'll do it then too, because that's what we do. Okay, and I've told you again and again and again, if the shit is going down, that we'll be out here live. So you want to make sure and hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell and whatever it is you have to do after that.
Hey, are we echoing back? I hope we're not.
Is there something on the desktop audio we want on?
No, that's just so they can hear me too. So I was gonna say, if you want, if you like going downtown tomorrow, we could pull out the cameras and go see back. No,
it's not safe. It's not safe for the dogs, dude. I don't want.
I wouldn't take the dogs anyway.
Yeah, well, I'd rather go somewhere with the. I'd rather go somewhere with the dogs. No offense, you guys, but.
Right on.
I already told him that. I don't want to be around the protest. I don't want to be. Look.
It wouldn't be our first protest, though.
No, of course not. I don't want to go down and subject. I've told you guys again and again that I have a lung condition. Right? I told you when this COVID thing started. I told you way before that. A doctor told me in like 1999 that I was going to die from a cold. Okay? And so I have to be, with this pepper spray and tear gas and shit, I have to be very careful. So I'm not going to subject myself to that, just the way you wouldn't want to subject your child to it or whatever, I think that I'm of more value here, live, talking with the people. By the way, this is a call-in show. The telephone number is 805-669-6397. I would be more than happy to talk with you, the people, if you feel like it. Otherwise, where we got, this is Seattle still. But shit's going down everywhere. I see fires in Minneapolis. You got fire? You got something with Minneapolis fires? There's this stuff happening everywhere. I mean, Atlanta. I have an amazing video of the protesters at the CNN studio in Atlanta, and I'll post that as soon as we get done here, or before maybe. I might just go upload it here in a second. But yeah, no, Craig, we've done lots of protests. I mean, we were at the protest in the Iraq War protest. We were at the 9/11 Truth protest. We were at fucking impeach George Bush protest because he led us into a war based on lies, and I watched the way the media covered it, and it's probably a big part of why I do what I do, because I know the media is just full of shit. The people, there was millions of people in the street demanding that we do not go to war in Iraq. Millions. And it was pretty much completely ignored by the media. So, and I was there, and I remember it clearly, and I did not only go into the streets, but I covered it by showing, by showing so many Washington, D.C. protests and rallies and other rallies from around the country. And again, that's what it is. That's where it is that I think I'm of most value, and being able to show you what it is that's actually happening right now in this moment. I wonder if I still have that post, I bet that thing's still around somewhere. That little sign, that yard sign. Anyways, let's see. Can you see if you can find video of Minneapolis too? Because I'm seeing like lots of fire. Lots of fire. Everything's on fire. Again, if you want to call and talk about what's happening, and if you think this is going to lead to martial law, or where you think it goes from here, right? But this makes so much sense now, right? I'm like trying to figure out what's going on. All of a sudden, it's like all clear, like, right? Here's what's going to happen is some people are going to get killed in a protest, and then like way more protesters are going to come out, and then way more, and then the army's going to have to be deployed because Donald Trump says so. You know, we love our police so much. And then, once the martial law is instituted and the blockades are on the street, you're going to have the app on your phone. You're going to have to say that you've been tested and you've been vaccinated. Otherwise, you'll have to pull over there, and we will vaccinate you now. Military style. In the motherfucking neck. Cool. Thank you for your participation. So I am getting so hungry right now. Let's see. Yeah, Portland. Oh, you got Portland? Portland looks hot. Has he got Portland? No, Minneapolis. Portland, I see tear gas everywhere. Portland. Caller. Yeah, don't take your dog to the protest because they don't do well with the tear gas either. I just love it, man. These cops keep fucking throwing tear gas and it winds up fucking just blowing in their face. I love this. Craig is working on Portland. Let's see. So I guess we will do a show tomorrow. What time do you guys think is good time for a show tomorrow? I'm thinking late afternoonish, like maybe 5 or 6. Probably, 5 or 6, something like that sounds about right. Depends on if there's dog walking options. But yeah, because this stuff doesn't happen really until after the sun goes down. I mean, it doesn't tend to get super hot until after the sun goes down for whatever reason. The cover of darkness seems to embolden some people. I'm not sure exactly. So this is Portland, Oregon. And it's dark. This looks like a helicopter shot. Oh, I know why Craig wants to go downtown. He wants to use his drone to cover the protest. But you can see there's tear gas being fired there, and again, you just can't push the protesters, man. You can't push the protesters. People are going to get hurt. It's going to bring out more people. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you push the protesters, that's just going to make them push back twice as hard. Equal and opposite, you know. So, and there's a lot more protesters than there are cops. And tomorrow there's going to be even more after this shit, where the cops are fucking dropping tear gas on people on their knees with their hands in the air. I showed you that at the beginning of this show. At the beginning of this live show, I showed you a video of the cops who in Minneapolis, I'm pretty sure, protesters on their knees with their hands in the air, cops 100 feet away, and they're fucking launching tear gas canisters on them. You can't be more peaceful than on your knees with your hands in the air. Okay? Again, it's the cops instigating, and I don't know. So please support the people that are in the street. Because the cops push the violence. You push the violence, the people are going to push back. And it's because the people have been pushed back into a corner where they can only be pushed so far, and they have to push back. You know, last week we did an episode of the live show in which it was titled, you know, when tyranny becomes law, you know, rebellion becomes duty, right? So I think that this is important to understand. You know, the police state, it's unacceptable. And so please support the protesters. Okay, because what you're going to see on the news is all this footage of looting and setting fires and breaking stuff. But you know, the protesters, again, they're in the streets demanding justice, standing up against a heavily armed, trigger-happy police state. You know, that wants to prove that they're the biggest bullies on the block. And again, they're the ones instigating. They're the ones who drew first blood. They drew first blood. Don't forget, okay? They drew first blood, and they keep doing it. Okay, the protesters are on their knees with their hands in the air, right? The cops drop tear gas. The protesters all go and start fucking tearing shit apart so they can build barricades in order to protect themselves against the tear gas and the whatever onslaught is coming next. Okay? So it's the cops who make it happen. You can't be more peaceful than on your knees with your hands in the air. And I'll show that to you again if you want. But I want to stay focused on Portland for the moment. I'm going to go warm up my tea. I'll be right back.
Get out. Get out. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Ouch, 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 ouch. Alright, so as you can see, this is Portland, and it looks like it's getting hot down there. The police are very overly reactive in Portland much of the time. They got a chip on their shoulder about protesters, it seems like to me. Got a lovely bowl of raviolis. Thanks to Craig. Crumble up a little bit of pretzels in them. I want something crunchy on top of them. I'm still craving a bunch of salt, so. The cops are looking so weird everywhere, man. You know, they have masks on, but like none of them are wearing them, right? Or they're like wearing them on their chins. You know what I mean? Like their mouth and their nose are exposed, and they just have the mask down here. Very strange. Again, they all have families to go home to. You know, you'd think they'd want to protect their loved ones, right? That's why we're supposed to be wearing masks and everything. So why wouldn't the cops be doing that, right? You'd think they'd want to protect their loved ones. I would think. I gotta get a knife and a napkin. I'll be right back. What's up, boo-boo? You are such a funny bear. Okay, so again, in case you don't know, this is Portland that we're looking at, and it looks like things are getting a little hot down there. Getting a little hot everywhere. You want to be careful.
Hey, I can switch us over to Phoenix if you want. I got some action down there.
Okay. Whatever you want to do. I'm so hungry right at the moment, you guys. I just gotta have a little nibble here before I can focus on too much more. So as I was saying, excuse me, very savory. As I was saying, Craig said we could have a live show tomorrow. I don't need his permission, but I need his help because doing the live streaming and trying to take calls and respond to people and keep a dialogue going, it would be just too much for me on my own. So Craig is doing a pretty amazing job of keeping the live streams up and fed. And this is Phoenix, Craig? Yeah, so this is Phoenix right now. And it wouldn't be, you know, if I didn't have somebody that was able to, if I didn't have Craig, I don't need somebody, I need Craig. If I didn't have Craig to live stream, to find live streams while we're doing this and keep stuff going, then, you know, why would you tune into this when you could be tuning into the live streams wherever else, you know? But otherwise, you can tune in here and we can have a discussion. So what we'll do is tomorrow we'll shoot for a little bit earlier. We'll shoot for we'll do it at 6 o'clock. We'll plan on 6 o'clock. If things get really hot before that, we'll start it earlier. I mean, if at noon there's military rolling down the streets of Manhattan, we'll start at noon. Trust me. But unless that's happening, 6 o'clock, it seems like a workable time. Maybe a little earlier. I'm not playing clips. I'm not really playing a lot of clips right now. So I could easily do a show without... see, the clips take about 4 hours to process and gather for each show. So... you know, so it's 4 hours of preparation and then like however long the show runs, right? Okay, so if anybody wants to call, the telephone number is 805-669-6397, and we'll be happy to talk about what's happening here.
Now we're looking at Dallas, Texas, just so you know.
Okay, Dallas, Texas. Dallas was pretty hot earlier. It looked like the cops and the protesters were kind of getting each other's faces. Definitely in each other's personal space, no doubt about that.
I got a car fire in Oakland. I'm going to try and bring that up next.
Okay, cool. I don't see a car. That didn't look like a car. This is Oakland, California, where definitely, if there's protests going on and it's police brutality protests, you need to pay attention to Oakland because they got a hard-on for the cops. Rightfully so, Kelly Thomas. Rest in peace, Kelly. And Oakland is a pretty nice place to visit. I think if you went there, you could probably have a pretty good time. Especially if you have somebody show you around. Then I'm sure of it. So, this is Oakland. We're working on a couple other things here. But it looks like there's definitely going to be some stuff going on tomorrow. You can count on it. The protesters look pretty jacked up at this point from what I'm seeing. So, figure tomorrow we'll do 6 p.m. We'll do a special Saturday night show, you know, for George Floyd and all the protesters. And so we'll be covering that. You guys can count on it. We'll be here. And otherwise, I'm going to let this run for a minute and finish eating this food. Unless somebody wants to call and have something to talk about. Because I'm just seeing this all, you know, with you guys at the same time it's happening. So, which is pretty cool. But it's hard for me just to discuss it by myself. Oh, that's a good one. That's the White House, Craig? Nice. Who's my beautiful baby? Hey, who's my who? Who? That's right. Oh, you're such a beautiful baby. What a beautiful baby you are. You know I love my beautiful baby. Who's my beautiful baby? Where you going? Who's my beautiful baby? What? That's right. Come up here. Come up here. Oh, there's my beautiful baby. Oh, there's my beautiful baby. What a beautiful baby you are. Give me a kiss.
I feel like we're doing the reverse of live PD here.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Out of 34 people watching, and we still don't have anybody who wants to call in. What's up with that?
They're busy. They're watching Pornhub besides us.
Oh, we got content over there, but not under Box News.
All right, so are you guys busy with the Pornhub? Should we go? No, this was pretty good. What is this still? Oh, we're back to Portland? Excellent.
Yep. I figure until we get a call, just...
Was that a fire? I saw a fire up there.
Yeah, there was a dumpster fire or something, maybe even more. Actually, that might be a building that does look a little bigger. It's hard to tell. The guy's moving around his camera way too much. Oh yeah, there's a big fire in the street. Holy shit. Look at that. Woo! There's a riot on the streets of Portland.
Yeah, I don't think that's a dumpster.
No, that's something bigger than a dumpster. Holy dog shit.
Maybe.
That's all pallets. They got a bunch of pallets surrounding it.
Pallets burn pretty good.
All they got to do in Portland is just bribe a couple homeless guys to go grab some pallets for them.
$5.
Let me see what else I can find here.
We'll leave it on here for a minute.
No, I know. I'm just looking. The White House is the same as it was, just a bunch of bright lights.
Yeah, it's hard to see much there.
You got a ton of floodlights coming off the front of whatever building they're at there. And you can't tell me they're on Pennsylvania Avenue. They've got them a few blocks back. They have to.
So the Portland protesters are like professionals, man. Those people, like, I'm surprised we didn't see them last night. I think it's just a matter of...
Oh, I got a second stream from Portland. I'm going to see if I can overlay this. This is going to look good.
Okay,
it's the
cool.
Helicopter shot.
Excellent.
Let me see what I can do here.
All right. Craig's pulling up a helicopter shot to go with this Portland shot. I'm going to go get a piece of chocolate. I want a piece of chocolate.
I don't know if there's any audio on this current one, but we'll see.
It's all good. They don't need it. They discuss amongst themselves.
Oh, I know. Alright, let's work a little magic for you guys here and see if we can get a double shot together on both of these. How about we do like... Yeah, go for it.
What do you mean by doing the opposite of the reverse of live TV or whatever? TV. I thought you said TV. I didn't understand what you meant. Yeah. Ooh-cha-cha-cha. Ooh-cha. Oh, you're such a jealous girl. How come you're such a jealous girl all the time? Huh? there's your helicopter shot that Craig was working on for us. And here's my chocolate. I believe it's chocolate and caramel. I think. Smells pretty good either way. Yeah, caramel. Oh, I love chocolate. But I can't eat it because you'll get fat. All right, so go over there. You're a good girl. There's nothing left. Go tell your dad you want. Go tell your dad you want a treat. He'll give you a treat. Go on.
God damn, we put on good work.
That does look pretty good. That does look pretty darn good. Lots and lots of... Those are not cops. Those are just people out driving. Look at that.
Yeah. Let's just go downtown and like observe the protesters.
Let's just drive towards all the cops. How much fucking weed did you smoke today, boy?
Well, considering protesters do like impulsive shit and throw shit through people's cars randomly just because.
Yeah.
You look like a rich motherfucker in a BMW. Let's throw a fucking rock through your car.
You know what? That guy that got his fucking windshield bashed in earlier in the blue Mustang, he drove through those people, didn't he? I mean, those people were blocking the place and he drove through them, so you don't do that. If you do, shit's gonna happen. So he chose his path.
This looks like it's a couple blocks away from that concert venue where we saw Cage the Elephant a few years ago, the Crystal Palace or the Crystal Ballroom.
Crystal Ballroom. That place
where
was
the floor was bouncing.
Awesome.
It's one of the best concert venues in Portland. If any of you guys have ever been there,
it was really pretty.
And dudes crowd surfing.
Yeah, the whole fucking band crowd surfed all at the same time. I'd never seen that happen before, man. All right, so I think we're getting ready for another dab, right? Is anybody?
We've got a caller. Stand by. I'm going to meet me out so I can take this call.
Caller. I think we're getting ready for another dab. I don't give a fuck if we have a caller or not. I need another fucking dab. Right? Man's gotta have priorities, right? Let's see. This needs to be muted out like that. Okay, that's muted out. I didn't get any more donations. No more donations. How can I do a dab without a donation? It's Dabs for Donation Friday. Here, I'll get a nice big juicy dab ready, and maybe someone will be kind enough. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, how are you?
I am good. It's good to hear from you.
Nice to talk to you too, brother.
I was worried about you. You know, I mean, when I don't hear from you or see you, and I didn't know if I was gonna see you again, and that made me worry twice as much. So you know.
Well, sorry to create worry.
It's all good.
Not my intention for sure. So. I just wanted to call in and sort of remind everybody something as we see all this stuff and we, you know, like naturally as humans we have this emotional response and we respond to it with all sorts of emotions, you know, anger and frustration and hatred and wanting revenge and we think about all of the events that have happened before. And how and then all this COVID nonsense before. And I just wanted to remind everybody that our government and our media has always been lying to us. And some of us got suckered, some of us more than others, on the whole Rona, and then so that didn't work. It didn't cause the end of the world, and we all see what's happened, and they've gone back to their usual playbook, and I want everybody to consider the fact that our media has done nothing but lie to us, and there's been numerous instances where CNN especially has been caught staging what they portray to us as news.
Yeah.
And we get another angle, and we see that they have lighting on the streets in London as they have people in burqas protesting, and the classic ones from the first Gulf War, when there's dudes supposedly on the roof of the CNN building, supposedly in Riyadh, and they're actually on the roof of the CNN building as they're pretending to have a Scud missile attack on them. And there's just been numerous things. We've seen the grieving fake mother of the fake victim of the fake pulse shooting with the studio lights reflecting in her glasses. As they pretend her to be on the streets in Orlando.
Right. Well,
and the fake doctor with the fake bloody shoes in the same event. And I want everybody to understand that they very well could be lying about this from the absolute inception of this story, because we've seen we already know that there's agent provocateurs, that there always are in these events, and Jello Biafra and the Dead Kennedys have been singing about that for 4 freaking decades, and it hasn't changed. It's not like things are better. They've gotten a lot better at it, and we've gotten a lot more gullible, I think, as a people. And it really just this thing screams that there's those two guys, the victim and the murderer, work together, and as you mentioned earlier in your show, and Craig mentioned that one worked outside and one worked inside, and you very well corrected that of course the security would know each other, so that they could, not be arrested, beating each other and throwing each other out of the club.
Yeah.
So it's not like they had 1,000 bouncers there, that you just might not know the other guy because you didn't work the same shift. That's horse shit.
Yeah.
The two knew each other, and we may or may not have more information coming out of this. And I know I don't want to sound insensitive, but it very well could be that whole event that was shown to us in 2D, like all of these things was actually filmed maybe even weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So just a thought before we all get our panties in a bunch and start doing things that are going to lead to, as we probably can't stop it at this point, but martial law.
Well, we just have to, look, I hear what you're saying. I don't trust anything that the fucking police state says or the media says, and everything about the way that fucking went down with George Floyd doesn't look right. So
no, and there's a whole lot of it's always they've been caught so many times, and we catch ourselves with our own pants down by buying the horse shit that they're selling. They repealed the Smith-Mundt Act, and ever since then, since 2012, it's been nothing but psyop, fake fucking news. I know you don't like that term, and I saw in chat a few days ago, I think, that somebody mentioned that Donald Trump invented the term fake news, and that's categorically false.
Yeah.
For any of you that you had your nose maybe too much in the mainstream media, the truthers, prior to the psyop of the flat earth, the truthers were calling out fake news by the things that I was mentioning before, like the fake CNN quote news clips that we have video of it being a staged event. We were calling it fake news, and what happened actually was that Donald J. Trump co-opted that term that was getting traction. and he started saying that everything that CNN said was fake news, and it pretty much is. But the fact that he said it took away the actual truth of it and made it into like a Trumpism.
Well,
so,
yeah,
so that you know.
Yeah, and the problem with Trump is that CNN is fake news. It's not that Fox News is fake news.
And I know I see. So the thing is that well, so you know because you watch both, and I know what you've been watching tonight.
Yeah.
So CNN is categorically worse. I call them CIA in it. They're all. I mean, I'm not that Hannity. I mean, Hannity wears a freaking CIA pin on his lapel.
Yeah.
Every single night. Not that Fox isn't just as much CIA Mockingbird, but CIANN is just and Microsoft DNC. You know, so it's not. I didn't know that for a long time. That MSNBC, so Microsoft NBC. That MSNBC is Microsoft NBC. Bill Gates.
Right. Yeah.
And we've been and which makes a lot of sense when you think about it on how much propaganda gets spewed out there with, you know, Mika and her, you know, Zabrinsky, that family, you know.
Well, the propaganda never ends with any of these people, bro.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you know, I hate and I don't. All you people out there in TV land, don't judge me on this, but honestly, faux news is the least of the offenders, at least right now. It'll switch if the flavor of politics.
Yeah, if we were talking about the Iraq War, you know, probably.
Oh, they'd be beating the war drum.
Yeah.
We need to be there.
Or the Iran War. So, I mean, so, you know, they'll be doing.
Yeah, you're right. It's not our freaking enemy, man.
Yeah.
And
China, I see him beating the war drums with China right now like crazy,
yep,
dude.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't need war drums with China, but China's not innocent in any of this.
No, China's getting worse, but they've been
but we've let it happen too. The fact that our country has let our pharmaceutical drugs be produced in China, that's insane.
You know what? And they charge so fucking much money for this shit, and it's like, I mean, it's just idiotic.
Well, that's why it happened. They can get it from China cheap, right?
Yeah.
And then sell it to us and make hand over fist just shitloads of money. Sickening, dude.
Yeah, I despise
for poison that doesn't even work.
Yeah. I just despise the for-profit medical industrial complex. I just despise it. I want nothing to do with it. I want to stay as far away from it as I possibly can.
The third largest cause of death in the United States.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
But that's a human right. It's a human right to be killed by, you know, I mean, what is it, cancer, heart disease, and doctors? But it's your human right to be killed by one of these simpletons that all they cared about was money when they went to college. They weren't even curious, and then they get indoctrinated in med school about, you know, Western, you know, drug medication, you know, treating the symptoms instead of, you know, curing the disease, and they don't even know what the oath that they took meant. But I'm getting a little sidetracked there. But still, it's the same thing.
Yeah, no,
you're being lied to, people.
It seems to be all part of the same thing. Like, you know, like we're, you know, it's just becoming more and more obvious to me, you know, that the government and the for-profit medical industrial complex, I don't know a better way to put it. You know, they just all part of this giant fucking lie to the people.
Yep.
You know,
banking's involved, the military-industrial complex is involved, and then they use this crap that we're seeing now. They use this divide and conquer, that whether it's race or whether it's politics, you know, that they're keeping everybody at each other's throats. This is the same story, so that they can keep doing the evil shit that we're talking about here with their medicine. And keep killing people. Bill Gates, you know, the eugenicist, his dad was the president of Planned Parenthood, you know, and you know, they're eugenicists, you know, having the perfect genetics is what the family's been about, and the other side of the family is tied with the Federal Reserve of Seattle, like the branch up there.
I didn't know they were tied to that. Yeah,
I think it's mom's dad or mom. I don't remember which.
I mean, all I have to do is really look at Bill Gates, and there's just something not right, you know.
He's evil, dude.
Yeah.
He is. And where's Antifa with that? Where are all you? Where's Anonymous with that? Why is this guy still walking around? Expect us, my ass. Been expecting nothing. Nothing's been happening. No truth from 9/11. Sorry, another tangent on Anonymous. I know that you're more.
I did no look.
Right.
I put that symbol on my card to scare the norms.
Well, I mean, I do like the symbol, but the whole idea that before all those fuckers got sold out, got caught up doing naughty stuff on the dark web and sold out to the NSA. A bunch of traitors that are listening to our conversation right now. There was probably something legitimate going on there, but expect us and we are legion. Shit, nothing's happened. No 9/11 truth. Nothing.
I hear you. Look, I hear you. Look, I despise this. This 9/11. It all comes back to 9/11, dude.
Yep.
If we can start from there and get a real fucking some kind of actual explanation of what really happened, then we can go. Okay, we don't need the DEA, we don't need the TSA, we don't need the Homeland Security, we don't need half of these motherfucking cops. Or whatever, I don't know, but everything's just fucked up priority wise, and
anyone that thinks that planes hit anything on that day don't believe in Newton's laws of physics. Straight up, sounds insane, but Newton's third law of equal and opposite forces says that the planes, that the force that the plane put on the building is equal to the force that the building put on the plane. Therefore, at least 50% of the light hollow aluminum tube and water sacks of body and luggage would have rained down on the street as could have ever penetrated structural concrete and steel. So, no, it sounds crazy. Everybody that on the street that said that, oh yeah, I saw a plane, they're all tied to the media. Other people said they saw a missile. We all know about the Israeli art students having the floors above and below, and the ability to wire all that shit out and make that, this big show happen. Shanksville, there's a ditch that the coroner said there's no reason for me to be here because there's not so much as a finger. There wasn't a plane crash in Shanksville, and the Pentagon, which was my waking moment, that plane did nothing. No plane hit the Pentagon. We all know about the footage. There's no proof with that. There's a lot of cameras around the Pentagon. There's 4 frames of nothing, and the plane doesn't even fit in that stupid hole.
Yeah.
And it hit the budget analyst office where they were looking for the $3 trillion that they had lost and
right.
mentioned the day before.
Hey, Craig,
so any of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this is where it started. This is where it all. I mean, it was going on before, but like Mike said, this is a good place to look at. And it's not all just George Bush and Dick Cheney or the United States.
Yeah.
5 dancing Israelis.
Yeah. No. Look, there's just a ton of fucking shit that needs to be all fucking made obvious to the whole world, and the government needs to come clean. And if Donald Trump wasn't one of them, he would fucking try and make that happen. So
he's bought and paid for, and has been since his Art of the Deal, when he filed bankruptcy on 70-something New York City banks and didn't end up swimming with the fishes. He's bought and paid for, and has been for a long time.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
He's been getting awards from the Tree of Life Award from the Chabad Lubavitch multiple times since the 80s. They loved him. They named a neighborhood after him in an area of the Golan Heights, the Stolan Heights, that they stole from Syria.
Right.
Where they're building settlements illegally.
Right. I see it too, man. I understand.
And it's not the Jews, folks. Don't get me wrong.
I know. I understand. I see what's happening. You know I do, Mark.
I totally do. I know you do, Mike. I'm reiterating that for listeners.
It just be
whether or not it's something that should be heard or not, it just has to be said.
Well, it needs to be like you said. It needs to, or like I said, we just need to start at the beginning because that's where you know.
That's how we got to where we're at right now. When I'm looking at this stuff on the TV, our race relations, you know this. You're old enough to know this. Were so much better in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And even in the early 2000s. We've become one, man. Our generation was like, fuck that racism shit. We're not about that. You know, yeah, the boomer generation has their issues, but we had come so far and we had gone so far back, and it's not an accident. Nothing about this is an accident. It's been written about.
Yeah.
And it's happened. And they keep doing it. They started it with Trayvon. They didn't get what they wanted. People still held their shit together. Even the damn rednecks in Alabama. No offense to Alabama. They still didn't start their race war, and so they kept doing it. And we got Ferguson, and I just can't. There were agents provocateurs in Ferguson too, and I just find it ironic as heck that AutoZone burned both places.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That's very interesting. But again, they're just too these things. There's always just too many fucking coincidences, you know.
Yep.
This thing where you know George Floyd worked with the cop who murdered him.
Right.
You know.
What are the chances? Minneapolis-St. Paul's a huge city.
Yeah, and
it's a wonderful city, by the way. If any of you haven't been there, the people are so friendly and warm and wonderful.
I haven't
Both
been
sides
there.
of my family are from there.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I tell people again and again, it seems like a great place to have a vacation.
Great food.
Yeah.
Wonderful things to do in the summertime, the land of 10,000 lakes, and then in the wintertime, those people get down with their winter sports, man. You can go cross-country skiing through the zoo.
Oh, you gotta love the snow to live in a place like that.
Yeah, you have to. Well, you have to at least embrace it somehow, because you might be shoveling your roof. But how cool is this if you play hockey? Every little elementary school where there was blacktop in the summertime, they put up boards and put a little mini rink there for the neighborhood hockey teams to practice without having to pay for ice time. And usually the Parks and Recreation even brings a Zamboni around a couple of times a week and resurfaces the ice.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
It is beautiful. They don't hole up in the wintertime there when because it's cold. You know, it might be 10 below, 20 below, 40 below. They still get out and they're active. Strong, great people up there, man. And I'm sorry that this has happened to their beautiful town. My grandfather was in the House of Legislature there for years and wrote some great legislation. And it's I went with Boy Scouts to the Boundary Waters, and it's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful state.
Oh, right on. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I wish I would. I'm not like real big on the idea of traveling, but like I said, that just seems like a really nice place to visit. It's way too cold for me, 365, but.
And in the summertime, it gets really hot too, so negative. And the state bird is a mosquito.
See, that I believe. That was one of the things. Like Alaska always looked like a nice place too, but Jesus, they got
bird up there too.
Yeah, they got mosquitoes there the size of fucking hawks, falcons and shit.
I remember we had a portage where we go from one lake to another. You have to carry your canoe and all your gear, and you put on long pants and long sleeves and button up and spray up with some good mosquito spray.
Yeah.
And there were some portages where you ran for your life.
Man.
And then counted the I can't remember 30 something mosquito bites from one portage.
That's just
like
no,
getting out back on the
thank
lottery.
you. I mean, I love nature and everything, but
I'm making it sound pretty bad, but it's actually really good. So.
oh, I fell asleep. I fell asleep here next to a lake one day, and I woke up and I had at least 30 mosquito bites. That was like a huge mistake.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm really sorry for our country that this is happening, and I really hope that it'll. I mean, I know that a lot of people like the frustration. It'd be nice if we could get the frustration out and have people in the streets don't destroy other businesses, burn all the fire stations or all the excuse me, not that, don't burn the fire stations, burn all the police stations you want, but save the liquor stores for crying out loud.
Yeah. I don't.
It'd be great if this could happen without any repercussions from what they've been wanting to do. They posted up all that all those trucks around right when Rona was starting and the National Guard's got they have a lot of, and we saw that they're like convoys of Humvees that they're bringing in, and it says, oh well, they're just bringing equipment back from the Middle East and they're bringing troops back from the Middle East, and they told us it was to go fight drugs in the Caribbean, but I'm not sure that we're doing a whole lot of drug interventions. They've never really done much of that. That was just been a big show. So they brought the military back from the Middle East, and they brought all the equipment back from the Middle East, and they're just ready to use them. So I hope everybody keeps their head a little more than they have in the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
and we got agent provocateurs, so maybe it doesn't even matter how much people keep their heads. Maybe they have been.
Yeah.
And this is all from CIA goons, whether they're.
Well, you saw the video at the beginning with the protesters on their knees and the police firing tear gas at them. Mark.
I'm not sure that I think I might have missed the first few minutes.
Yeah, at the beginning, I played it pretty quick. There was a video, and it showed protesters in Minneapolis, and they had filled the street, and they were on their knees, and they had their hands in the air, and the cops were about 100, 200 feet away. And, I mean, the cops just started firing tear gas on them. And they're
like canisters that were bouncing into them?
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like, I know you remember the Davis University where the cop took.
Yeah.
Cops are evil, man. All these people that like, oh, there's a lot of good cops out there. You gotta give them a break. This is just all, there's just people. There's bad people everywhere. Horse shit. Cops police the rest of us all the time, yet they don't police their own. There shouldn't be any bad cops. There's no reason for any bad cops, and we see bad cops all the time. And I'm not talking about this instance right here. I'm talking about every time we've ever had an interaction. And with very few exceptions. Sometimes, of course, the cop doesn't want to, make a fucking fiasco out of everything. Just wants to get through his day, too. So you might have an interaction with a cop that he doesn't beat the shit out of you or even write you a ticket that will put you in serious financial hardship. But that doesn't mean that he's a good cop. It means you got lucky. Cops are pieces of fucking shit. They hire half-wits. If you score too high on their test, they won't hire you. And they say that it's because you'll get bored. Cops are predator pieces of shit. We don't need them. They don't serve any purpose. And anybody who says that they do, that we have to put people in cages and beat them up, they're confused.
Well, the ones that aren't predator pieces of shit are protecting the predator pieces of shit, which is
right. They're guilty.
Is a
they're
problem.
Driving the getaway.
Isn't that a YouTube page? Never mind. The cops so they're protecting them, and the point is that they have a choice to make. They don't have to be bad. I don't know. Maybe they do have to be bad. It's like you're saying with the IQ test, and can't be too intelligent. It's it seems to me that if they actually got rid of the bad cops, like the so-called good cops actually got rid of the bad cops, that there'd probably be a lot more people who would be interested in being cops.
Right. I mean, who hasn't, as a little kid, been like, yeah, I want to help people and be a good guy. I want to save the world, you know?
We all used to play cops and robbers, that's for sure.
Right. He wants to really, I mean, very few of us probably wanted to be the bad guy. Sometimes you have to be, right? But if you were the good guy,
for a long time in the media, in the movies and stuff, a lot of the bad guys were portrayed as good guys, you know. So.
Well, I suppose that's true, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Though.
No, I mean everybody wants to be the hero, man. That's what you're saying.
Want to help our neighbors and serve and protect them.
Yeah.
I mean, as a noble profession, if you felt called to do so, you know, no different than someone who thinks that they've got what it takes to man up and to be firefighters. Man, firefighters are fucking heroes. They don't have bulletproof vests and automatic weapons and you know, and facing down unarmed people with their bulletproof vests and automatic weapons. They rush into an active firefight almost with just water, right?
Yeah.
They're heroes, man. So,
no, I mean...
fuck the police.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, and their constant, never-ending fear.
Right. And I think I saw Al made a comment really early tonight. I think I went back and read the chat because I got on late after my dog walk. And Al mentioned that the crime has been on a steady decrease since the 90s, yet we've had nothing but fear. Oh my God, there's nothing. All these guns and violence. We got to do something about it, and more police. And we just have to have every time that there's an election, there's a bond measure on there for public safety. And who's going to vote against being more safe? If they have, man, that the cop that works at the local high school here makes over $100,000 to sit on his ass.
You know, I don't know. I mean, the cops can make really, really good money.
Yeah, no, the cops in California all make right around $100,000 as a minimum.
That's probably
that's a bit of overtime.
Yeah, that's
and
before
they make
the overtime.
$250,000 or more.
Yeah, the overtime can really add up. They all work as much overtime as they possibly can get.
Hell yeah! Plus they usually get a company car. They get uniforms. They get all sorts. They get their weapons are usually paid for.
Right. They have allowances for shit.
Right, and they're walking around armed to the teeth. And they want us to believe how scared they are, or excuse me, how tough of a job they have and how dangerous it is all the time. You know, walking around amongst all of us unarmed, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, those guys, it's like you're saying, they're predators. It seems like, you know, in the 80s, they just decided that they were going to become the biggest bully on the block and make sure everybody knew who the biggest bully on the block was. You know,
I came of age basically in the 80s, so that's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
And so maybe before that they were the Andy Griffith type. I mean, I hear stories about people. You know, I don't want to think that anybody. You hear a lot of people saying my grandfather was a cop, right? And all I think about is, wow, your grandfather must have been a real piece of fucking shit. Well, that's probably not the case, right?
Well,
maybe Grandpa was good. Although, hold on, I've got my second ex-wife. I only have two. That's not so. But her grandfather, like step-grandfather, worked for the Long Beach Police Department, and him and his son both worked for them, and both got quit after he was there for 20 years and got full retirement on some bullshit disability. And I worked with him doing labor, and he mentioned that he could get in trouble if somebody filmed him doing this. He's dead and gone now, but he also mentioned that he carried an Italian switchblade that I may have possession of, and
out the front.
No.
Okay,
no,
a switchblade. Yeah, I gotcha.
Wish. Yeah, but the classic one with green soapstone handle. Very classic looking.
Right on. I have one like that too.
Yeah, I'm kind of a nice collector, but he said he carried that specifically so that he could drop it, as a perp had it, right? And he can stick himself in the arm.
That's what they did to Freddie Gray. They said he had an illegal knife.
With who?
Freddie Gray.
Remind me of
Baltimore. Freddie Gray. They threw him in the back of a fucking paddy wagon, and then
and drove him around and fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do I think his name was something different? Freddie Gray, really?
Yeah.
Okay. The same mention was it came up recently in a different chat. Was I know you didn't know his name. I had to look it up the other day, but the homeless guy that was camping in New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Oh yeah, his name was Matt something, I think.
I'll find it real quick. But we remember watching him, and there's a standoff, and they shot him like 3 shots, and then they sent the dog in after him.
Yeah. And none of that had to happen.
None of it had to happen.
All they had to do was fucking drive away, and it would have been no problem for anybody whatsoever.
Yeah, that's damn, what's his freaking name? I'm looking at it right now. But they showed pictures like of a knife next to him, like that was in his hand, and I'm not sure that he had a knife in his hand, like they're showing it right now, like a close-up picture. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. They're a long ways away from him, and he was camping out on a hill, leave him the fuck alone, go away.
Yeah, he was pretty out of the way, dude. I don't know what the deal.
First they send the dog into him, and then and then they shot him.
Yeah.
Oh man, what is his name? Unbelievable. Anyhow. It's probably pretty late here. It's after midnight, so.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Let's see. I'm sure I can find it. Let's see.
Here it is.
James Boyd.
That's it. Problem is with searching for that is that the Albuquerque Police Department has killed a couple of dozen people in the last few years.
All the police.
So if you just search like Albuquerque murders, police murders, there's dozens.
I searched cop kill homeless man camping. Boom.
I put in Albuquerque. I had searched for it before, and I listened to it on a video, and I got the name of James Floyd, but I think I got it from listening.
Yeah.
Just putting it in there. There's another one. Investigators have charged 2 people with the murder of an Albuquerque homeless man found under, it might not even cops, but by the way, one of the articles that I had read during this was that there were 24 murders in the last 2 years, around that time of James Floyd. I think you remember this too, didn't they? Didn't federal investigators come in and investigate the Albuquerque Police Department because the number of people that they'd shot?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And Albuquerque is a nice little place. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, I lived in Albuquerque for about a year. It was a pretty cool town.
My high school sweetheart lives in Albuquerque and she went to college there.
Right.
So
yeah, it was a pretty cool town. There was like during the summer, like about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was like thunder showers like every single day.
Wow, that's when I lived in Kansas City in the summer of '93. It was the big flood. It was like the 100 or 500 year flood there, and it rained every day at 4 o'clock. and we had season passes for the local amusement park, World of Fun. And it rained every day at 4:00, so the park would clear out. And we lived like 5 miles away. So at 4:00, we'd get in the car and head out there. We'd get the park right up front because the people that got there early had left.
Yeah.
And it just stopped raining when we got there because it only rained 30 minutes, 30 minutes every day.
Yeah.
And then we'd go ride roller coasters nonstop for an hour.
Awesome.
And like totally have our fill because we'd ridden like 20 roller coasters,
Yeah, you get your money's worth.
Yeah, it was like so our $50 season pass, we totally got our money's worth that year. It was great.
Sounds great. Yeah,
yeah.
I worked in this little Mexican food restaurant there called Papa Felipe's. It was such good food, dude. Oh my.
In New Mexico?
Yeah.
And New Mexico has like a little bit different Mexican food.
It was a little bit different, yeah.
Did you have the thick tortillas, the thick corn tortillas?
I don't know how thick they were.
Okay.
I don't think I was a corn tortilla guy back then.
No, these are flour, actually.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't think they were thick. I don't remember them being extra thick or anything.
Gotcha. That was one of the things that my high school sweetheart had learned to make and made for me one time, and it's a classic thing that
they had. What they had was they had this bread that they called sopapillas, right? And it was like a piece of dough, and they would just throw it in the deep fryer for like 15 seconds, and it would puff up, really big. And they'd sort of basket these things with butter and honey, and you just be like, oh, fucking hog heaven, hot bread right out of the deep fryer with butter.
I'm pretty sure that the same thing, just not deep fried, is what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's
deep fried,
interesting.
Of course, would be better,
Yeah.
But it comes out like bread, and they serve it with butter,
Nice.
But it's done like on a flat top, like a tortilla.
Yeah, awesome.
But the sopapillas, yummy.
Those were amazing, and it was like one of those, like how they serve chips at the restaurant. Just like, you want more, man? Just more another basket. People would just fucking gorge on that stuff, dude.
Hell yeah, man! Fried bread, any fried bread is good. Anything that you fry, for that matter, man.
They made the best chili verde there too. Oh man, I love my chili verde.
Man, I've never really experienced that. I've been to New Mexico a few times, but I've never been able to get into that. To their chili scene, man. It's like that's a huge deal. That red and green chili, right?
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I looked at property in New Mexico. At one time, I had a big dream to build an earthship. So.
That'd be so cool.
Oh man, you know what an earthship is, right?
Yeah, it's like recycle.
Rambler tires.
Yeah, recycle. Yeah.
Such neat.
That sounds very interesting, no doubt about it. But New Mexico seems like it'd be a nice place. I mean, New Mexico is very, very nice. Albuquerque was awesome. I'll tell you, we drove there from Morro Bay, right, to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What a change, right?
Oh my God. We went and
two different planets.
When we drove through Arizona, it was like I got the worst sunburn of my life. The only thing I wanted.
One side of your body, right?
The only thing I wanted. Oh, we were driving. We drove from Morro Bay, California, to Albuquerque, New Mexico, in a 1967 Spitfire. Okay.
You made the Spitfire?
With the it wasn't mine. It was my friend's.
Okay. I've heard it, but I can't picture it.
It's a Triumph. It's a little tiny two-seater car.
Right.
Yeah, Triumph Spitfire. So we
convertible, right?
Yeah, top down the whole way. Worst sunburn of my life.
Oh no!
I was like, we're going through Arizona, and the only thing I want to find is a fucking tree that I can sit under in some shade for like fucking 15 seconds, and there is no motherfucking trees in Arizona. Okay.
Dude, I can totally relate because when I took this trip to look at a piece of property with my daughter in like 2010.
Yeah.
Like just driving in one direction with the angle of the sun, I got burnt so bad on one arm that I had to have on the, to be in the sun at all when I'm driving, I had to put on, have a t-shirt covering it. I didn't have any long sleeve shirts.
Yeah.
But I had to have a piece of cloth like draped over my arm because and I was covered except for the window.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in a convertible with that.
Oh man.
Dude.
And so we got to like Gallup, New Mexico, which is
that's the area where I was looking at property around.
It's right on the border of Arizona and New Mexico, right? We got there, and there's like a Dairy Queen, right? So we stop at the Dairy Queen and we get some ice cream, and there's fucking air conditioning and shit. I'm like, oh fuck yes. And I go, hey, let's take that LSD that we've been saving the whole trip. And we took these
what a great place to do it, though.
Yeah, oh my god, dude. We took these tabs of acid, right? And it just like all of a sudden there was like, and we get back in the car and we start driving, and the clouds start to look like those 3D postcards where you move them and like the clouds move across the sky. They look like that, like they're jumping across the sky, and there's fucking like lava flows and plateaus and fucking colors and shit. And there was and I mean it was just like driving through Arizona was just like flat, nothing, no color, no life. It was just, oh my God, how can anyone live here? And we got there and we took the acid and we fucking went. And right when we were leaving Gallup, right, we took the acid at the Dairy Queen and we start driving out of Gallup. Man, that shit hit really fast. Because we hit the edge of Gallup and there's like 20 Dairy Queen signs, billboards, giant billboards, one right after another. Like, are you sure you don't want ice cream before you go back into the desert? And I was like, are you seeing this too? But it was, and then we got like halfway there, and we like, oh my God, look, we're out of gas, right? We didn't run out of gas, but we're like, the car's fucking on empty. We got to get gas right now, and we're in the middle of a fucking desert, and there's
very very few choices.
Yeah, there's a tow truck, and we're tripping balls. And there's a tow truck driving past us, and we go, hey, and the guys pull up, and they look like fucking peyote eaters from day one, man. Like serious. And I'm like, hey, we're really low on gas. Is there gas somewhere close by? And they said, yeah, just take the next off ramp, and that's where we're going. You guys can just follow us, and if there's a problem, we got gas in the truck, and we'll give you some. And so we followed them, and those guys, how when you're tripping and you like meet other people that that are like serious trippers, those guys were just like, you knew that they were serious trippers and they knew what where we were at, and it was a very strange thing. But and then we get to these mountains, right? And you start going up these mountains, and you just keep going up and up and up and up, and then you get to the top of the mountains. And all of a sudden, there's fucking lights everywhere. And you go, whoa. And we just fucking stopped at the top of the mountain and hung out there and chilled out.
Like looking down on Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Yep. My high school sweetheart took me up there to the fucking top of the mountains where there's a lookout and you look down on the city.
Yeah. We just sat there and chilled out for a little while.
Hell yeah. Hey, do you notice that back in the day when you'd have, you take some LSD trips, that oftentimes you have issues like that, running out of gas and weird shit like that?
Yeah.
It seems to always be like a thing that it always end up. I remember tripping balls on Matchbook Mop-Up, dude, that was gifted to me.
Right on.
It was just like you don't really know. It was probably like a 10 strip.
Yeah.
And I usually don't like overdo it. I know you're like, I've probably done a few 10 strips, but so I'm like super high, and that's where I had the realization. We're on the beach at Rio Carrillo State Park in Malibu.
Nice.
And really, really beautiful beach. Like it's LA, like from Southern California beaches suck if you've been to Northern California beaches. So Leo Carrillo is the first place where there's like, well, there's a few spots in Southern California besides that where there's interesting coastline, but Leo Carrillo is just really cool. It's got like caves.
Is that north of north of Santa Barbara?
No, but it's similar. So it's past Zuma Beach in Malibu, where Zuma's pretty flat. So
Okay.
It's still a pretty cool beach.
Yeah.
But it's like the first, it's Ventura County,
I gotcha.
and it's where you first get some like cool rocky coves, where you get like those private coves and caves that the water's created. And there's a place where it's also the first off dog, no problem with having a dog leash.
Sweet.
LA County, it's difficult to have take a dog, so it's San Diego, and there's no issues at this beach. So we'd always just go there because it's beautiful, and we could let the dogs run. And so we had this matchbook mop up, and it it was so powerful, and I had the total realization that, oh my God, my marriage is over. So it's like super powerful. And we get back to the car.
And was it like a real bummer that you had that realization, or?
It was really a mix of emotions. It was almost like cleansing.
Yeah, like I'm free.
But at the same,
I'm free.
I mean, it was a bummer for sure.
Yeah.
But it was like, fuck, this is clear. This isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna work anymore. And we're really high, and it's all right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. And not that the whole thing was easy, but that experience probably made it easier. So anyhow, we get back to the parking lot where we decided to not pay a lot of these beaches you're supposed to put like $6 in the box.
Yeah.
To use their parking lot.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there to check.
Right.
So we said, fuck, I'm not paying, right?
Uh-huh.
And to get back to the car, and there's a ranger like parked, like a cop car ranger, right? They're not really rangers, they're pigs.
Yeah.
He's like parked at the entrance and like look. Of course, it feels like they're looking at you. At least mine's the only car in the parking lot, and my battery's dead.
Oh man.
So I got a pop start it in front of this cop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're high as a kite. Holy shit.
Oh, I would have asked the cop for a jump.
Oh man, you're a brave man. This was 97, so this was probably right around the time that we got medical, but I didn't have it. And it's still pretty much having weed here was a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
And so we pop started the car and drove right past the motherfucker, and I drove over this windy mountain to the 101 through Thousand Tokes, and got back on the 101 and drove home with the lights. If you've ever been on the freeway tripping balls, and or have you ever done it in the snow, dude? Driving in the snow at night on acid?
I don't really remember driving in the snow at night.
It's wonderful. I mean, even if you're a passenger.
I love driving in the snow at night when it's just like fucking blizzard conditions and they're just like, it's like fucking, it's almost like Star Wars, when they hit hyperspace,
Yeah, exactly. Especially on acid, because you're just seeing these flakes. They're like zooming to you with like, what do they call it? Tracers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that
so
sounds
while you're
very
trying
interesting.
to maintain control of a large automobile.
That sounds very interesting. No doubt. We were tripping one night and we were just sitting. There was this place. We were in Fresno, and we were. There was this place where like everybody used to cruise down the main boulevard. The cruise street, and we were in this fucking parking lot, parked like so that we were parked. Opposite the cars, like a T, the cars that are driving by. And and so we're looking at them drive by, and I kept looking over and just like tripping so hard, thinking, man, we're in the middle of all these cars and we're driving. It's like, it was such a strange thing, But I missed that feeling a little bit. It's been a while since I had that feeling.
Me too. Good times way back when.
Yeah.
Anyhow, great talking to you, man.
Hey, it's really good to hear from you, and I'm glad that you and yours are staying strong, and I hope that I hope that you have a real nice weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be it's crunch time at my job, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I've been working from home, and which makes things a little bit more difficult.
Is it more hours for you to work at home?
No, in fact, it's less hours.
Good.
So I would trade it in a heartbeat. And it's the hours are a lot more flexible. Like I do some work sometimes at 8 o'clock at night. So and I sleep in, so which is my preferred hours.
Sure.
But it is crunch time right now. So for the next weekend especially is going to be some very, very long hours, and have to get creative to get done the project that needs to happen by Monday, June 8th. So, but between then and now, I have a lot of things to do as well. So, but I much prefer the work from home thing, and I'll and my workplace seems to well, most people are buying into the idea that, oh my God, we're all going to die if we go outside and we take off our mask, our blindfold.
Well,
so that works into the favor of me being able to still work from home, and I'm not getting my job done nearly as well as I should. And there's a whole lot of things that aren't happening that should, but I'm having more and more trouble giving a crap about that. So, especially if it could be the case where I end up having to lose that job because of a COVID test or a COVID vaccination, neither of which will I take.
Yeah.
Not to keep my job, not to keep my pension. I'll do what I can to get what I can out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the shot. I'm not taking your test. I'm not being forced into any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's my line in the sand, along with giving up any of my shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it just the fucking government police state just needs to back way the fuck off, dude.
Yep, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them.
Because otherwise, it's just the people have been pushed about as far as they're gonna go, and it is gonna be a problem moving forward.
But here's one thing, unfortunately, that most of the people are missing, and I gotta add this: doesn't matter whether this isn't a political thing, this isn't a partisan thing. This isn't that this particular government is bad, and if we just had a different government, everything would be okay. That is categorically false, and anybody who's still clinging to that hope that they could have a daddy that takes care of them if they just put a specific letter next to their name, and if they just said the right thing, and everything would be good. That's the biggest bunch of horse shit, and anybody who can't see that after this last primary season has got their head cramped so far up their ass that it's hopeless. And I know that there's a lot.
But I mean,
of
even
if you do listening right now, who fall into that category, that think that, gosh, we'll just get them next time. Wake up.
Yeah.
It's not a left-right thing. Nothing that's happening right now is left-right. All you right people that think that this is just a bunch of liberals in the street, while you're sort of right, has nothing to do with what's going on. This isn't a left-right thing.
No.
Left-right's not going to save you. The Democratic Party, we can barely remember when they were anti-war. Yeah.
It's so bad. I agree. I agree completely when it comes to that. I feel bad I really do feel bad for people who identify in that way. It just seems like
I do too, man, because they're all good people, man, on both sides. They both have good things to say, but unfortunately, both sides have this veil of lies that has been laid on them that they're clinging to, that they think it's not true, man. It's not one side or the other. Donald Trump is not your savior.
It's
Bernie
not,
or Uncle Joe or whoever in a third party is not your savior. They're not going to save you. Government is never, ever, ever your friend.
Sure,
The necessary evil in the very smallest of doses, and it just because people wrote stuff down to clarify this hundreds of years ago, and that they're just a bunch of old white dudes and they might have owned slaves, doesn't invalidate the truth. They might have had some things wrong, but the idea that government needs to be limited and that government only exists to serve the people, and when that stops happening, that the government needs to be abolished, rather than this idea that the government owns the people and controls the people and knows what's best for the people and can tell you what to do about staying healthy, can say that you're not enough of an adult to avoid getting the flu.
Yeah. And we all know that it's so much more evil than that. I mean, the numbers are all fake, are all fucked when it comes to the flu and the COVID.
They stopped counting the flu in January.
Yeah, so
they stopped collecting any flu data in January. Why would they do that?
And the goddamn media is in on all of it. And I just am, the people deserve better than this shit. And that's why the people have to come together in order to make it happen, because otherwise, because these fucking assholes, the media is not going to change, the police state's not going to change unless the people just fucking say this is done, but you have to come together to make it happen.
And that's why they spent the last 8 years plus, probably more like 20, but working really hard to divide the people.
Yeah, and they've gotten really good at it. And this shit with the mask, the mask, so many people buying into this mask thing. The mask just makes everybody that you come across a potential threat to you, because they could be sick. And then you're constantly reminded of that. So, just fucking hell. Go ahead.
I've heard from other people who have gone into stores where they have to have a mask and they refuse to wear it and said they have a medical waiver or whatever, that they don't have any problem with like the store owners, but the hatred and the anger that they're getting from other mask wearing people in the store is these people that are just so angry that you would dare not wear your mask, I
didn't really feel that when I was in the store the other day, but I don't much pay attention, because otherwise I'd be getting that all the time, when I pay attention, people are like, why are you in here?
Right. You're already getting funny looks anyhow without the mask being involved,
Yeah.
That hairy dude with dogs in the store. What are you doing?
Right. Fuck you, get away from me. And plus, and fuck you, get away from me. So, that's not gonna, they don't.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect social distancing, right? You know what that really is? That's anti-social distancing.
I like that one.
Anyhow, man, I don't want to keep you any longer. I really appreciate talking to you, but
it's really good to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're here.
Right on. Likewise. Your words in your show are really important, and thanks for keeping on.
I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
That's right. So see you tomorrow night. I hope you have a lot of fun avoiding the craziness with the doggies tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll see you tomorrow night. Let's hope that, although it'll be interesting to watch, let's hope the fucking world doesn't burn down. Let's hope that we don't end up being forced into martial law and things being a lot worse.
Yeah.
Right as we've been let out of our confinement, that they lock us back in our houses.
Right. That's what I see. But hopefully that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, if everybody collectively keeps their head, it could happen. But it doesn't look. Looking at what's been going on lately, I don't know how many people have kept their head.
Well, the weekend,
or how the optics don't look as though, right?
Yeah, I think the weekend will be a big revealing moment as to what direction this is going to head. So that's why we got to do the show tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have the show, because I think we're going to see massive amounts of people on the streets.
Yeah, I think so. I think tomorrow we're going to see what we're seeing today and yesterday is going to make tomorrow is going to make it seem small.
Yep. All right, brother.
Okay, it's good to hear from you, and I hope we talk again soon, okay?
Absolutely. Good night, brother.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
That's our buddy Wolko from Southern California. Let's see. Where are we looking at now? Minneapolis, Craig?
38th Street, East 38th Street, right. Chicago Ave. He changed numbers, and then he sent me the info about that event. It's still tomorrow, but he said that the event was supposed to have what he said that he heard is that the National Guard is supposed to be like real.
I can't hear anything that you're saying. All I can hear is what's on the video.
Oh shit. Let's turn that down. I don't know why the video's turned out.
Oh, someone wanted to see the fires. Hold on. So.
There, okay.
There we go. Okay, so what's going on is it looks like you got a store that was boarded up, and they just tore all the boards off the windows of this warehouse or wave house, whatever it is, and they caught the neighboring business on fire. And so they're looting the place before they burn it out. Good plan, guys.
Well.
So, hey, we just had a caller, James from Santa Cruz, and I told him to hang on the line. James, if you're out there, give me a call back, and we'll get you on before we wrap for the night, because I know it's getting late here, but hell, we still got 37 to 35 people watching, so, you know, we do this for fun, too, you know, so never a dull moment around Mox News, right?
You know, we do it because it's the right thing to do, and to try and give a voice to the people. So if you'd like to have your voice be heard, the telephone number is right there. It's 805-669-6397. You can call and we can talk about whatever. But we're doing this right now, so if you want to talk about this, especially if you're outside and seeing things like this go on in your neighborhood, you know, let us know what's happening. Otherwise, you know, we'll stick around for a few more minutes and you know, see what kind of video we got playing here. Minneapolis is on fire. Portland's on fire. You know, Dallas. No, I don't think I saw any fires in Dallas. I don't know what's going on. There was a small group of people downtown in Seattle, it looked like, not like a giant group of people. Atlanta is fucking burning. So I guess we're going to do this again tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Normally do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night we'll plan on doing 6 p.m. tomorrow night. But if necessary, we'll come on much earlier. You know, if necessary, I'll come on at noon. So you want to make sure and subscribe and hit the notifications bell, so that way, you know, if we do go live, you won't miss out on anything. Otherwise, we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time, at possibly a little earlier. But if you hit the notification bell, you'll know exactly what's going on. Hello, caller. Other than YouTube's fucking censorship. Go ahead, caller. What's up?
Hello, Michael. This is Chris from Olympia. I just wanted to let you know that I'm concerned about how you're doing currently after taking that phone call.
I'm fine.
Are you doing it? Because I'm telling you, I That was one of the best calls I've ever heard in my life. I love. This is Chris from Olympia. How are you doing tonight?
It's not Chris from Olympia.
This is Chris from Olympia,
No,
whether you like it or not.
It's not.
We love that. I just wanted to express how much I loved the last caller. He's such a cool dude. Whether you like it or not,
He is a cool
people. He's fucking cool as shit. Fucking son of a bitch. Son of a. Hey, this is Chris from Olympia. How are you doing tonight?
It's not Chris from Olympia.
This is Chris from Olympia. Whether you like it or not. Hey, I gotta go.
Good.
I gotta get off the line here because I gotta go to bed.
Okay.
But, hey, shout outs to Woco because he's the man.
Okay.
Hey, are you trying to argue with me?
Bye.
Right now? You want to argue?
Bye.
I'm ready to argue.
Bye.
I'm arguing with people right now.
Chris from Olympia doesn't argue with me.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's out there. He's arguing with people at the gas station. He's like, this shit is completely fucked. Yeah, he's there. He's at Walmart. This shit's completely fucked. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, this shit's completely fucked. This is Chris from Olympia, and we're all angry and shit.
Okay.
Keep positive attitude, whether you like it or not.
Okay. Bye.
Really? I gotta go.
Bye.
You hang up. Hang up.
Bye.
I'm not hanging.
That was not Chris from Olympia. So we know. So you know. I already know that. Where were we? Oh, right. We were eating sausages at the barbecue at the bonfire. Oh, wait a minute. I think, okay, so as I was saying, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you want to be sure, and by this, I mean the live call-in show. So you want to be sure and hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. That way you will know when we go live. We're going to go live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. That's the plan. Although we may come out a little bit earlier than that if the shit starts hitting the fan before then. So, and if nothing goes down tomorrow night, good. We'll come out, we'll say hi to everybody, and then we'll go enjoy your weekend. But otherwise, we'll be here so that you guys can see, so that we can have our nightly chat about the things that are happening in our world. And it's always better when you're here. So please be sure, again, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so that you don't miss out on a single live episode, and smash that like button. God damn it. Let's see. I did get the video with Ted Cruz. If you guys want to see that, where he's talking about how he feels about the protesters. And how it's just one bad cop, and how are these people just going all crazy over one bad cop, right? I have that video. I did get it lined up when we went to break. I think I got it lined up. I might have picked the wrong fucking thing. But either way, again, we'll be here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And we'll have the live feeds all ready, and we can have take phone calls and do this crazy thing that we do, so much different than anyone else. And it always makes a huge difference when you're here. In fact, it's so much better when you're here. You know, without you, it would be completely meaningless. So I just want you guys to know, you know, that I really enjoy, I love doing this with you, not for you, but with you. So you know, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much to the callers. Thanks so much to the viewers. It looks like things are chilling out right now. We are going to go, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. or maybe a little earlier. If you hit that notification bell, you will be sure to know whenever we go live. But we'll be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And then until then, otherwise, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And it's always better when you're here. So please remember that always. I'm out. I'm out of stuff to say. We can sit here and keep the live stream going. We got the Minneapolis here. We got fire. I've been trying to get coverage of the fire in Minneapolis. I'm going to let this run for a minute. I got to get a drink of water. I'll be right back. What's up, boo-boo?
Hey, if you guys that are still watching want me to, I will put some of this video up on the Mox News Clips stream so Mike can get some shut-eye and close this live stream down. So if you feel like it, jump over to the Mox News Clips channel and we'll just run some of it back over there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I think we're going to probably close it out here in a minute, but it's always better when you guys are here. We have held an epic amount of people all night long. Still 36 viewers. Usually by the end of the show, we're down to 10 or 12. So for all you guys still watching, let's make this happen all the time. Tell your friends. Mike busts his ass to make this show what it is for you guys. So I hope you all appreciate it.
You want to keep going or what?
We can move it over to the Mox News Clips channel and just shut this off, and I'll run it back on that channel.
Is that what you want to do? But you have to stay. You have to kind of stay a little bit focused on it, Okay, because we don't have to quit if you want to keep doing it here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
No, like I was just saying, people want to see this. We can stay live for a little while longer. I got nothing better to do but get some sleep, and sleep is overrated anyway. Did Steve McClanahan just show up in your studio? That sounded a lot like
I heard him over here just a minute ago.
I got some Steve McClanahan voicemails. I got some amazing voicemails.
Well, you can get those lined up for the protest video for tomorrow.
Hilarious. We've got a whole shit ton of drunk dialing by Steve McClanahan. They are epic, to say the least.
That'll have to be one of your special clip shows.
There you go. And hey, if we got anybody in the audience that's good at drawing caricatures, we really need a Steve McClanahan caricature, because, he's funny. Hey, Mox News stickers. What does a good protest call for but some stickers to slap up everywhere? Anybody who wants stickers, I got 10 stickers and probably 4 or 5 business cards coming your way for a $5 PayPal donation. Make sure you include your mailing address. And these stickers are 3-inch by 3-inch vinyl. They will hold up in the weather on the back window of your car. They are suitable for framing. You can line your cat box with them. You could probably stick them on the back of your cell phone case. Put them on your skateboard, Pete. Anywhere you want. They're not just paper stickers. They're actually a lightweight vinyl die-cut sticker. And the business cards are kind of cool. They're a nice, thick, double-sided card with the Mox News Anonymous Knowledge is free on the back. So I think we still have one last embroidered long-sleeve shirt left. And I'm working on some other cool Mox News merch for you guys, too. So if you haven't checked out moxnews.com in a while, that site has changed up a little bit to make it a little more user-friendly. And we are driving into this year during the pandemic with some extra work behind the scenes. So, what? Whisper says no. No what, Whisper? You don't want to see the voicemails that you've left, the drunk dialing, huh? The belching, the farting, the throwing up, the crying. The crying is epic. He's only doing it live, huh? I don't know, man. Anyway, we're looking at Minneapolis burned to the fucking ground. This is pretty epic right here. And the protesters all have excuses for wearing masks. That's the coolest thing.
That was so funny listening to the commentator talk about how the protesters are being responsible and wearing masks. I was just like, what a fucking idiot.
So I couldn't show it because it's CNN, and you know they are about to show any of their video typically. CNN Center, they had cops lined up across the front of CNN Center, and they're like firebombing the place because they're throwing tear gas canisters back at the cops inside the building. And the protesters were advancing through the broken doors, and the cops are backing up. So, CNN Center got destroyed.
I have that video. I'll upload it for you when we get done here.
Let me take a look and see if there's any other live streams here that we should look at.
Alright, I'm about done. I'm pretty good. Yeah.
No more callers. We lost James from Santa Cruz. I thought he would call in. I got one more piece I'm going to show you guys here. I can't tell if this is live. Oh, wait, we got a call. I'm going to mute myself for a minute and see who this is. Stand by, guys.
God damn it. Okay. So again, I am getting done here. I'd be happy to continue to do this all night long as we have callers, but it's the callers aren't calling. I don't know. It sounds like Craig's got a caller. We'll see. But again, we're going to do this tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope we'll see you here then. Otherwise, I am pretty much done. I don't need to. The live stream is. I gotta have a break. I can only sit under these lights for so long, honestly. But we'll be back tomorrow night, and each and every Monday through Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow night we'll be back at 6 p.m., possibly earlier, but figure 6 p.m. I'll be sure and let you know ahead of time. But until then, just stay cool. We'll get through this. Again, like I said, if you guys can just stay cool for a little while, we keep getting through these things. Right? And it's just a matter of staying cool, and that way you can actually enjoy things in life instead of having this constant, the COVID's gonna get us, the fucking world's melting down. Just stay cool. It's like, what a beautiful day. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna walk the dog. Don't get too caught up in it all. We'll get through it. All right, so I hope we see you back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Special Saturday night show. Otherwise, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. But tomorrow night, 6 p.m. So be sure and hit the subscribe button. And until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool until that day.
Are going to start on 10 and count backwards, and you can do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. What time is it? All right. Cool. Man, I can't tell you how long we've been looking forward to looking back on this time. Okay.
What time is it? 4:20.
I want to remind you of a couple quick things that I have a responsibility to talk to you about. And do we have, I mean, we have fire extinguisher or something. I don't know what's going on. I want to tell you that we passed I-75 last year, making simple possession of Lewis police priority in the city limits. And the Seattle Police Department has the city of Seattle.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.